Chapter 1400. Father. Within the heavenly Yuan sect, Lin Xian, who had waited for over a year, felt incomparably worried in her heart. According to the time her father had left, he should have returned by now. But now, her father didn't have anyone to suppress the chill. She was afraid that after a year and a half, the chill in her body would surge up again. At that time, if she didn't have her father's medicinal pills or the method he gave her, she would once again experience the pain of the bone-chilling frost. Father, where are you? Didn't you say that you would return after a year and a half? Why aren't you back yet? She cast her gaze into the distance, recalling the scene when she was in seclusion. Father? This was the same as Lin Shan's reaction when he first saw Lin Rei. Both of them spoke in a probing tone, as though Lin Rei's appearance was something inconceivable. With regards to this, Lin Li felt extremely guilty in his heart regarding Lin Xian's transformation. His stiff face squeezed out a smile as he nodded. I'm back. Swish! As the sound of Lin Rei's voice faded, Lin Xian transformed into a beam of light and rushed to the front of Lin Rei. She stretched out her arms and hugged Lin Rei. Tears flowed down her cheeks as she sobbed. You're finally back. It's been so long since your daughter saw you. After speaking, her words became unclear, and at the end, she completely let go of the pain. At the side, Lin Tian retreated to the side when he saw this scene. He didn't want to disturb the two of them. Boo! The hoarse cries of pain and anguish entered Lin Li's ears. Each cry was like a sharp dagger stabbing into Lin Li's heart. Since young, other than Lin Rei, this daughter of his was the most resolute. But now she had become like this. Lin Rei understood that everything was his fault. He stretched out his arms and gently stroked her back and silky hair. Tears flowed down his cheeks as he spoke. Cry, cry, cry it out. Everything will be fine once you cry it all out. Just like that, he quietly listened to Xian'er's cries. Lin Rei didn't stop her. He knew that it was a good thing for her to let go of all the grievances she had been suppressing in her heart for so long. Time slowly passed. Lin Rei did not know how much time had passed. He only knew that he was in the same place. The sun had set, and only then did Xian'er's crying slowly stop. The entire Xuanzong sect became busy because of Lin Rei's orders. At this moment, Lin Shan also learned of Lin Rei's orders. This order was a merciless blow to him. He never thought that his father would do such a thing. He wanted his mother to plead for leniency, but I stopped him and told him the pros and cons of the matter. Lin Shan was sensible. After hearing the pros and cons, he did not speak again. In the end, he could only silently accept the fact. In the Astral River Hall, Lin Rei sat on the steps in front of the hall. Lin Xian was lying on Lin Rei's lap. In addition, the golden rays of the western sun shone down on Lin Rei and Lin Xian. This scene was extremely peaceful. Looking at his daughter lying on his lap, Lin Rei spoke in a gentle voice. Xian, I remember that when I left, I didn't give you this mystic ice heavenly art. But why did your cultivation technique change after I came back? And from the looks of it, you have already cultivated to the 5th level. She stood up and looked at her father with a resolute expression. Father, you weren't around and I couldn't see you. But every time you met with danger, your daughter couldn't help you. Brother Yun is here to take care of the matters of the sect. I felt that I was too useless, so I wanted to cultivate faster. Well, back then when I was in the library, I saw the mystic ice heavenly art sealed by you. So I broke the seal, and after reading the introduction of the mystic ice heavenly art, I resolutely decided to cultivate this cultivation technique, right? Lin Rei finished Lin Xian's sentence. Yes. With regards to this, Lin Xian didn't hide it and boldly admitted it. You. At this moment Lin Rei panicked. He didn't expect that the reason why Lin Xian cultivated this cultivation technique was because of him, her father. When he thought of the pain she would have to endure every day after cultivating the mystic ice heavenly art, Lin Rei couldn't bear for her to continue cultivating. Xian, why don't we do this? If you want to cultivate, father will give you an even stronger and better cultivation technique. Give up on cultivating this cultivation technique. This cultivation technique requires you to endure too much pain every day. Father can't bear for you to suffer every day. Do you understand? All these years, the reason why father worked so hard in cultivation was because I didn't want you to suffer. I didn't want you to be burdened. I wanted to protect you all. Father. Father. Lin Xian suddenly spoke. Lin Rei's voice rang out. His eyes were filled with bewilderment as he stared at Lin Xian. Daughter wishes to cultivate this cultivation technique. A resolute expression flashed in Lin Xian's eyes. For 300 years, daughter had to endure the pain every day. After all these years, daughter has already gotten used to such pain. In addition, daughter has comprehended many things from this cultivation technique. Daughter wishes to continue cultivating. Daughter wish to cultivate. Lin Rei. Lin Xian's words directly choked Lin Rei, causing him to have no way to continue speaking. All right, father, let's not talk about this matter anymore. Lin Xian didn't want to linger on this matter for too long. A smile appeared on her face as she changed the topic. All right, father, why did you come back this time? How long will you be staying? He understood Xian's meaning and let out a long sigh. This time around, I came back to arrange some matters and bring you all to the sacred world. What? Sacred? Sacred world? Father, could it be that you? Lin Xian's eyes were filled with disbelief as she stared at Lin Rei. She seemed to have guessed something in her heart. One must know that one had to be at the peak of the Paragon Divinity realm, half step into the Saint realm, or directly breaking through to the Saint realm. Now that her father said that he would head to the sacred world, didn't that mean that her father's cultivation base had already transcended this world? Staring at the shocked expression on his daughter's face, Lin Rei smiled proudly. He stretched out his hand and stroked the bridge of his daughter's nose as he spoke in a doting tone. Little lass, you are truly intelligent. With regards to matters regarding his cultivation base, Lin Rei had no intentions of concealing it. And with regards to his daughter and his family, Lin Rei had no need to conceal it. You are right. Your father's cultivation base has already broken through to the Saint realm, surpassing the limits of this world. The reason why I haven't left yet is because I intend to bring all of you with me to the sacred world. Hence, follow father this time around. When we arrive at the sacred world, father will find some cultivation resources for you, allowing you to break through to the 7th level of the mystic heavenly art of ice even faster. After that, father will find a high-grade cultivation art similar to the mystic heavenly art of ice that doesn't have any side effects. If that's the case, you won't have to endure the bone-chilling cold every day. I can enter the sacred world as well? With regards to Lin Rei's words, Lin Xian didn't pay attention to the latter part of his words. She was focused on the matter of entering the sacred world. Of course you can. At this moment, Lin Tian, who had been standing at the side silently all this while, walked over. He then continued, young master's strength can never be compared to the strength of this world. Back then, young master brought our Xuanzong sect to the immortal world from another world. At that time, we had yet to reach the requirements to enter the immortal world. As he spoke, Lin Tian stared at Lin Rei. His expression was filled with worship and reverence. Uncle Tian. Upon seeing Lin Tian walking over, Lin Xian hurriedly stood up and clasped her hands in greeting to Lin Tian. With regards to Lin Tian's existence, she was extremely clear. Ever since she was born, she knew how important Lin Tian's existence was. Hence, no matter if it was Lin Shan or her, or even Lin Yun who had already broken through to the Empyrean realm, none of them dared to be impudent in front of Lin Rei. Haha Xian, I haven't seen you in so many years. You are so beautiful. As the saying goes, a single glance is enough to topple an entire country. Compared to those so-called holy maidens and goddesses, you are simply so much more beautiful. Haha. Lin Tian's words not only caused Lin Xian to laugh, even Lin Rei was amused by Lin Tian's words. He understood Lin Tian very well. He had never been one to bootlick. But now he was actually acting like this. Lin Rei felt somewhat bewildered, but he was very fond of the current Lin Tian. Uncle Tian must be joking. Lin Xian bowed as she spoke humbly. However, from the smile on her face, one could tell that she was very fond of such praise. Father, A scream of agony rang out from Lin Xian's mouth. The originally cold air in the surroundings plunged to the freezing point after Lin Xian's scream. And this sudden surge of cold qi naturally originated from Lin Xian's body. Not good. Upon feeling the coldness, Lin Rei hurriedly hugged Lin Xian in his embrace as he instantly released his cultivation to resist the cold qi. Little Tian, hurry up and seal this place up. Don't let anyone pass through here. Those who disobey will be killed without mercy. Right now, the side effects of Xian Er's cultivation art have appeared. This process will take a long time. I have to use my own cultivation to suppress it. Upon hearing this, Lin Tian's countenance turned heavy as he nodded his head. He understood the dangers involved. Don't worry, leave this to me. After speaking, Lin Tian didn't stay any longer. His silhouette flickered as he vanished from his original location. Not long after, the entire Zhonghe Hall was sealed by a terrifying energy. Hee little Tian. This fellow isn't simple either. He actually learned such a terrifying sealing technique. Staring at the seal, Lin Xian lowered her head and stared at her daughter who was wrapped in frost. Hi, this lass. At that time, her feelings for Lin Rei were even deeper. Since young, in order to obtain her father's praise, she didn't hesitate to forbid herself from cultivating. Now, seeing her father in such a state, how could she urge him to be happy? If she was given another chance, she would do the same. As long as she could obtain her father's concern, she would give up everything. Xian how are you? Are you feeling better? The Mirage Spirit Blood Fire was still circulating in Lin Rei's meridians. Under Lin Rei's control, the Mirage Spirit Blood Fire wouldn't harm Lin Xian I'm fine. I'm fine, father. The Lin Xian at this moment was already much better with the help of Lin Rei. Upon hearing Lin Rei's concern, she opened her tired eyes and smiled tiredly at Lin Rei. After which, she closed her eyes once more. It was as though her bones were being bitten by the frost. Even with her cultivation base and the help of Lin Rei, she was too tired. After replying to Lin Rei, she fell into a deep slumber. Staring at his daughter who was sleeping soundly, Lin Rei's brows were tightly furrowed together. His countenance was extremely unsightly. He found it very hard to imagine how she managed to endure such pain. Thinking back to the past 300 years, how many days and nights did she have to endure such inhumane agony every day? Lin Rei's heart clenched in pain. He believed that even her mother, Shadow, wouldn't know about Xian Er's situation. In fact, she might not even know what Xian Er's cultivation base was. As for Lin Shan, Lin Rei no longer held any hope for this son of his. Staring at his daughter who was sleeping soundly in his embrace, Lin Rei retracted the Mirage Spirit Blood Fire, not wanting to disturb her sleep. This time, it could be considered to have passed. But what about tomorrow? The day after tomorrow? What about in the future? Such pain accompanied her every day. Although she said she was used to it, who would be able to get used to such pain? My pitiful daughter. Lifting his hand, he gently stroked Xian Er's silky hair. His eyes were filled with pain and reluctance. He truly couldn't imagine that Xian was doing all this for him, for the sake of helping her father. Thinking of this, Lin Xian Er's nose turned sour as longing gushed into her heart. She couldn't understand why her father would go back on his words again. Earlier, he had clearly promised that he wouldn't do it again. Why did things turn out like this? But when she thought of how her father did it for the sake of her illness, the bitterness in her heart vanished. Xian open your mouth and swallow this pill. You'll be fine after eating it. Quick, be good. As though he was coaxing a child, he placed the heart-burning flame beside Lin Xian Er's mouth. A second-grade saint-ranked pill in addition to the blood of Hongming's paragon physique. Right now, the heart-burning flame could be said to be unleashed to its limits. Gulp! Back then, her father was so nervous. In order to treat her illness, he actually cooked a meal to such an extent. Thinking back, the things he did in the past were truly too childish. The reason why Lin Rei did this was because he wanted to give them a peaceful life. Uncle Tian, where's my father? You're awake. He lowered his head and glanced at Lin Xian only to see her lying on the ground, staring at him dumbfoundedly. Her eyes were filled with bewilderment as though she was puzzled why he was here and not her father, Lin Rei. Xian young master has something to do. He left after he finished concocting the pill for you. After speaking, he stretched out his hand and helped Lin Xian up. How are you? Do you feel any discomfort? If it was me, I would bring you to see young master now. You can't be careless about this kind of pain. After speaking, his divine sense gushed out, probing her condition. However, with a single glance, his worries were instantly dispelled. Because right now, Lin Xian Er's condition wasn't exceptionally good. In fact, it was even better compared to him, especially in terms of cultivation. She was originally at the initial stage of the Divine Monarch realm, but in just a single day's time, her cultivation had already broken through to the mid-stage of the Divine Monarch realm, stepping into the peak of the late stage. Such a speed of breakthrough, he had only seen Lin Rei before. Good, it's good that you're fine. After his probing, Lin Tian finally relaxed. Uncle Tian, don't worry. I feel extremely comfortable now. I've never felt this way before. It seems that my body isn't as cold as before. Upon thinking of this, Lin Xian sighed. Back then, her father and Uncle Tian had sacrificed so much for her. Chapter 1401. What Linley didn't know was that right now, the daughter he had missed so dearly was once again suffering from the cold. The 3-year period from that year was almost up. Lin Rei didn't know that he was still cultivating in the death realm of the Dragon Spring Mystery Realm. He had come here to train his son, so he couldn't see the light of day. As for Lin Shan, he was still leisurely wandering around the God realm. Of course, he didn't stop cultivating because he was idle. With the supervision of Jian Wei and Bai Qi, his cultivation improved by leaps and bounds. Also, with the blood of the human emperor, he was so refined that even Bai Qi was jealous of him. Inside the death realm of the Netherworld Dragon Spring Mystery Realm in the empty underworld territory, Lin Yun was in a formation. He was in an extremely sorry state. If one didn't look carefully, one wouldn't be able to tell that he was the master of a sect. Right now, Linley was lying flat on the ground, panting heavily. His face was stained with blood, and his clothes were in tatters. Even a beggar would be in better shape than him. In the distance, his weapon was no longer in his hand. He felt as if someone had pressed him to the ground. He wanted to get up, but he felt that there was something on his body that made him unable to move. Father, you're really close to me. If you want to cultivate, then just cultivate. You actually used such a formation. Although he didn't know what kind of formation he was in, he could still tell the level of the formation. First grade saint. Even Hong Lian and the others, who had reached the great circle of the Earth Saint realm, would need some time to break this formation, let alone him. Moreover, he was only in the quasi-saint realm now. He was still some distance away from becoming a saint. Therefore, Lin Rei used such a formation. If he went further, who knew what would happen? Lin Rei, who had been secretly observing his son, laid down on the ground. Looking at him lying in the middle of the array, he frowned. Could it be that the array is too strong? Lin Rei hadn't thought about this before. In his opinion, although it wasn't easy for a quasi-saint to break through a first-grade saint realm formation, there was still hope. But now, it didn't seem to be the case at all. Lin Rei did not know. In his opinion, it was very easy for a quasi-sage to break through a first-grade sage array. However, it was not the same for other quasi-sages. A first-grade saint-grade array formation. This was no child's play. This was a real saint-grade array formation. Although he didn't want to admit it, seeing Lin Yun's current state, he couldn't help it. He knew that he had gone a little overboard. However, even though he knew that he was going overboard, he did not have the slightest intention of touching the formation and releasing it. Looking at Lin Yun, who was in the middle of the array, he said, "This array isn't too powerful. It's still possible for someone in your realm to break through it. Remember, don't look with your eyes. You have to use your heart. Moreover, this array formation can train your physical body. Look at you. Your physical body is too weak. You are a quasi-saint while your physical body has not even reached the hierarch realm. You are really inexcusable." Lin Yun, who had no strength left, rolled his eyes when he heard that. If he could, he would have fainted on the spot. He knew the strength of Lin Rei's physical body. But, who said that a quasi-sage cultivator's physical body had to be at the hierarch realm? Of course that was one thing. Retorting was another matter. Unless he was tired of living. He did not refute or open his mouth. Just like that, he resisted the pressure from the array formation. An intense pressure came from the array. At this moment, Lin Yun really wanted to die. But what the hell was going on? He had thought that he had to complete this training. But now it seemed that, completing the training that his father didn't know about. It was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. It was too difficult. It was not an exaggeration to say that this training was for an Earth Saint. He believed that even if Red Lotus and the others came, they would have to face the same difficulties as him. Rise for me. He mustered all of his cultivation base and strength, as well as his damaged magical item, in an attempt to fight back against the spell formation. However, as time passed and he grew stronger, it was impossible to do so. Even if he mustered all the strength he could control, the array formation was not shaken at all. It was still the same as before. There was no sign of it breaking. Father, is there any other simple array formation? This array formation is too strong. Your son is not that strong yet. In the end, Lin Yun could not help but ask. Facing the existence of this array formation, he was helpless. He did not have the strength to break it. Hearing that, Lin Rei shook his head helplessly and sighed. Can't you try again? This array formation is not as difficult as you think. Try again. Maybe. Father. Lin Yun hurriedly interrupted Lin Li and said, Don't use me as an excuse. This kind of array is too powerful. I can't break free at all. You saw it too. I used all my strength just now, but I couldn't break free at all. If this goes on, you will only be wasting time. Rather than that, you might as well use this time to cultivate and do something meaningful. Lin Rei wanted to say no, but looking at his son's exhausted appearance, he did not say anything in the end. He could only nod helplessly. All right. All right. With a wave of his hand, the array formation suddenly opened. The pressure that enveloped Lin Yun's body was instantly removed. Suddenly, Lin Yun's body felt light. He quickly got up from the ground and stretched his body. Comfortable. Comfortable. Looking at his son acting so recklessly, Lin Rei smiled. Since it's so comfortable, do you want to do it a few more times? I feel that this formation will be a great test for you. If you can break through to the next realm, I don't think it's worthy of a first-grade saint formation. At that time it will be very good for your cultivation, realm vision and so on. Father. Lin Yun was scared silly. He quickly waved his hand and refused. Don't do that. If you continue like this, your son will be tortured to death by you. As he spoke, his body subconsciously retreated. His entire body was already out of Lin Rei's sight. It was as if he was afraid that if he did not hurry, he would not be able to leave. Father, I feel that the previous training is more suitable for me. Although it is easy, it can also increase my knowledge. Isn't that right? As he spoke, he turned around to leave. However, just as he turned around and took a step forward, the scene in front of him suddenly changed. Suddenly, an image appeared in front of Lin Yun. F***CK, this can't be. I just left the wolf's den and entered the tiger's den. Looking at the scene in front of him, Lin Yun was certain that this was an illusion. Furthermore, the things in the illusion were closely related to him. Mother. Chapter 1402. Yun, how was your practice today? Did you cause trouble at Master Wu Jun's place? Why is she here? Lin Rei, who was in the sky, was surprised when he saw the woman. Wasn't this the woman who had helped him out and claimed that he was her boyfriend? For a moment, Lin Li didn't understand. He didn't understand why she would recognize him, and why her son was under his tutelage. Lin Li didn't know how to answer all these questions. Miss, you're too polite. You can just call me Wu Jun. Also, young master is very hardworking and talented. He must have inherited young master's talent. If he can return to young master's side, I believe his future will be limitless. Enough, I know what you're going to say next. However, you don't have to say it. I'd rather let my son become an ordinary person than let that person know that he has a son in this world. I want him to know how much pain he has brought me. I want him to know that I can't return to my home and that my father can't tolerate it. Sigh. Wu Jun sighed when he heard the woman's words. He didn't know what else to say. This is what happened back then. Master. Wu Jun? Seeing the scene before her, the memories that had been buried for a long time flashed again. Tears flowed uncontrollably. Her eyes were filled with nostalgia and pain. Mother Master, why are you arguing? Also, who is this young master you're talking about? Every time I hear you arguing, it's because of this young master. The originally tense atmosphere was completely shattered by Yun Er's words. Yun, actually young master is nothing. We were just fooling around. Also, didn't you say that you wanted to eat braised pork ribs? I specially worked overtime to earn money to buy it for you. Ah, really? Yun became excited when she heard about braised pork ribs. After all, she was only an 8-year-old child. Even if she was an adult, she couldn't completely resist the temptation of delicious food. When she heard about braised pork ribs demon, Yun hurriedly pulled Yao's hand and walked towards her house. As for Wu Jun, he did not follow after them. Instead, he had a frightened expression on his face as he looked up to the space where Lin Rei was located. Yao, who was in front, felt that Wu Jun was not following her. She stopped and turned around. Seeing that Wu Jun was still standing in the same spot, Yao felt that Wu Jun was like this because of what she had just said. Yao's heart was filled with guilt as she spoke to Wu Jun. Wu Jun, what I said before was just to annoy you. Don't take it seriously. Look at how happy Yun is. On account of the braised pork ribs, come and eat together. What Yao didn't know was that Wu Jun didn't have the guts to eat. Even if he wanted to move, he didn't dare, let alone eat with her. Just as Yao and Yun were about to go eat, Lin Rei, who was in the air, couldn't hold it in any longer. He directly transmitted a message to Wu Jun, telling him to come and see him immediately. At that moment, Wu Jun, who had been frozen in place, heard Yao's words and lowered his head with difficulty. He looked at Yao, who was walking over, and said, "Miss, he's here." One sentence, just one sentence, caused Yao, who had just walked over, to stop in her tracks. What? That's impossible. How could he come back? Furthermore, there's no one else here. When Wu Jun said the word he, Yao knew what it meant. However, after looking around, Yao didn't see anything and thought that Wu Jun was just joking with her. However, when Wu Jun didn't respond and didn't dare move an inch, Yao knew that he really was here. Wu Jun wasn't lying. Yun, go back and eat first. I have something to discuss with your master Wu Jun. Yao hurriedly turned around and said to her son. Oh, okay. Yun, who wasn't far away, replied dejectedly when she heard her mother's words. She then turned around and walked back home. At that moment, when there was no one else around, Yao said to Wu Jun, "Take me to see him." This was the scene when his father had found him. However, it was also the beginning of his nightmare. Because of this, his mother had died of depression. Because of this, his mother had died of old age and illness, unable to attain immortality. Every time he thought of this, he felt as if a knife was being twisted in his heart. Even after 1,000 years, he could still easily imagine his mother. Yun, do you want to eat something delicious? At that moment, Linley, who had been standing silently at the side, saw his son gnawing on a piece of braised pork rib. For a moment, his heart ached for his son. Then, he could not help but walk up and say to Yun, "Yun, don't worry." When Yao saw this scene, the bad feeling in her heart increased. She looked at Lin Rei with vigilance, as if she was guarding against Lin Rei. Yes, but we don't have any money. I know that mother works outside every day and it's very tiring. Haha. Don't worry, Dad. I'll buy it for you. What do you want to eat? I'll buy it for you. You can eat as much as you want. After making up his mind, Lin Rei said to Lin Yun emotionally. However, perhaps because of his agitation and heartache, he almost revealed his identity. At that moment, Lin Rei really wanted to reveal his identity to Lin Yun. I'm your father. I'm your biological father. However, Lin Rei knew that he had already let his mother down. Without Yao's approval, Lin Rei didn't dare and didn't want to say it. Ah, really? In the end, the illusion stopped. It wasn't because the illusion was forced, but because Lin Yun didn't want it to continue. He couldn't bear the pain of losing a loved one again. He couldn't allow his mother to compromise because of this matter. Although he had forgiven Lin Rei, that didn't mean that he could tear open his scars again. Let's stop here. He raised his hand and a vigorous energy flashed. It instantly rushed out and began to tear the array apart. Although he didn't understand arrays, there were ways to break them with force. And that was what Lin Yun was doing. He raised his head and looked at his mother's final face. Tears streamed down his face. His hands trembled as he increased his strength. In the end, the array couldn't withstand Lin Yun's continuous output and broke apart. With a bang, the array shattered. Lin Rei sensed it and instantly appeared. He looked at the illusion and was puzzled. He didn't know what Lin Yun saw in the illusion, but looking at Lin Yun's expression, he knew that it wasn't something happy. Chapter 1403. Let's continue. There are many more similar formations here. I hope you can break free as quickly as before. After saying that, Lin Rei's figure disappeared once again. Lin Yun didn't say anything after hearing his father's words. His emotions were fluctuating. He still hadn't completely recovered from the illusion. Originally, he had been thinking about his mother. But now, because of the illusion, his original thoughts had reappeared and refreshed his heart. Mother! Class 10 felt guilty towards his mother and the helpless woman. Thinking of this, inexplicably, he felt a little bit of resistance towards Linley. Perhaps it was because of his mother, but Lin Yun reorganized his feelings. He didn't want to continue like this. He wanted to return to the holy world, so, in the following period, Lin Yun became even more terrifying. He used to be a noob when breaking through formations, but now, he began to destroy them whenever he encountered them. Moreover, with Lin Rei's strength, he never failed. Well, of course that was aside from the very first formation. Lin Rei naturally sensed the change in Lin Yun. He didn't understand what had caused such a huge change. At the same time, he felt a bit of heartache for the broken formations. Mother Fastress Kerr, are you messing with me? These formations were all made with heavenly treasures. Now that they were being forcefully broken, the formation eyes that were made of heavenly treasures shattered the moment the formation was broken. If it had been someone else who had set up this formation, perhaps there would have been a chance for it to survive. But who asked this formation to be set up by Linley? It wasn't worth it. A powerful formation would naturally have a weakness. And this was the weakness? Looking at the destroyed formations, Linley's heart ached. Within those formations, there were several natural treasures which he himself couldn't bear to use. Now, he didn't expect that all of them would be destroyed. Wastrel! Lin Rei couldn't help muttering as he looked at Lin Yun's figure. Sigh! Within the formation, Lin Yun used his full strength. Martial God instantly used the stratagem of war and attacked the boundary of the formation. Boom! A ripple-like image appeared on the barrier of the array formation. Kacha-kacha! Suddenly, a strange sound rang out. The moment the ripples appeared on the formation barrier, they were accompanied by cracks. Cracks that looked like spider webs appeared on the formation barrier. F***CK. When Lin Rei saw that the array was about to collapse, his figure flickered and he appeared in front of Lin Yun. Without waiting for Lin Yun to speak, Lin Rei extended his hand and slapped the array's barrier. Pure Saint Spirit Chi and spiritual power gushed out and began to repair the barrier. Sai Yuner, you've done well during this period of time. However, looking at the array in front of him, as well as the array that had been damaged previously, he sighed. The next time you enter the array to train, I will be watching from the side. If you manage to break the array, you must remember not to damage it. After all, this is the array that I have set down to train the disciples of the sect. Although he said that, he was actually crying in his heart. However, when he thought about the increase in Lin Yun's cultivation, it was all worth it. Looking at his father in front of him, Lin Yun was stunned for a moment. Then, as if he thought of something, he smiled and nodded. I understand. Leave it there. Next time, I will definitely not damage the array. In his heart he had an idea. Of course, it was definitely not the kind of idea that he would not damage it. Yes, not bad. Lin Rei nodded. Good child, this array has no effect on you. Go on to the next one. I believe that soon, you will be able to make a breakthrough in your cultivation and enter the Saint realm. At that time, I will give you a gift. I guarantee that you will like it. Thank you, father. He bowed to Lin Rei, but he didn't feel as happy as before and turned to leave the array. This kid has an idea. Looking at Lin Yun's back, Lin Rei suddenly heard the system's voice. Although he didn't want to admit that the system was right, but that's right. In the end, Lin Rei nodded and continued, I don't know what this child went through in the past for him to change like this. Do you think his spiritual sense invaded the system? Do you think this is a good thing or a bad thing? Lin Rei wasn't very sure about this, but he knew that there was something wrong with Lin Yun's current situation. It was as if the kindness he had before was gone, replaced by a cold aura. However, the system didn't refuse Lin Rei's request. This kind of thing needs to be discussed between you two back then. However, I feel that this child is hiding something in his heart. This matter seems to be related to you. Otherwise, his attitude towards you wouldn't have changed so much. With me? Lin Yun looked into the distance and an indescribable feeling welled up in his heart. Could it be because of that matter? Lin Rei thought of a possibility. But so many years had passed. Why would it suddenly hiss an illusion? As if he had thought of the key, his expression changed. The change in Lin Yun's attitude should have happened after he left the illusion. Thinking about it, this should be the case. Illusion within the illusion. Lin Yun saw the scene of the past. Just like him. It seemed that it's time to talk to Yun. He felt very guilty about what had happened back then. If he had a chance to start over, his choice and decision might have been different. This way, Lin Yun's attitude and growth wouldn't have been so painful. Thinking about it, he let out a long sigh and let go of his hand. The blessing of the array was finally completed. System, send Xiaoyu over. Xiaoyu was very concerned about Lin Yun's matters. He hoped that after she came, she would be able to persuade Lin Yun indirectly. Ding! Teleporting Xuanzong Sect disciple, Lin Wanyu, Quasi-Sage Realm, host's disciple. Teleportation fee. 3 million exchange points. Ding! Do you want to proceed with the teleportation? Ding! Do you want to deduct 3 million exchange points? The system beep sounded again. This time, Lin Rei nodded without hesitation. Teleport. Ding! Teleportation activated. Host, please wait. Ding! 3 million exchange points are being deducted. Host, please confirm. Confirm. Ding! 3 million has been deducted. Host, please check your balance. Lin Rei didn't say anything and let him do as he pleased. As for his balance, it was better not to look at it. Otherwise it would be tempting and worrying. Ignoring it, he waited quietly. He was very pleased with his eldest disciple. After all, it wasn't easy for a girl to cultivate to such a level. Moreover, she had never been tempted by a man before. Chapter 1404. Time passed bit by bit. This time, the teleportation time was much slower than the last time. Perhaps it was because of the price, or perhaps there were other reasons. Lin Rei did not want to talk about it. Who knew if the system would charge him extra if he talked about it? Fortunately, just when Lin Rei was feeling bored, a familiar scene suddenly appeared. A pillar of light appeared, and a figure appeared in it. Then, the pillar of light disappeared, and Lin Wanyu appeared in the death zone. Ha! Lin Wanyu was originally cultivating in the holy world. But now, in the blink of an eye, she was in an unfamiliar place filled with blood and evil qi. Where is this place? Lin Wanyu's ethereal voice sounded. Coupled with her appearance, she was peerless. Looking at Lin Wanyu's confusion, Lin Rei smiled and said, "Little girl, I haven't seen you for many years. I didn't expect you to become more beautiful." Master? Lin Wanyu was startled by the sudden voice. She turned her head and saw Lin Rei standing not far away. She was so emotional that she could not help but cry. Seeing his eldest disciple crying, Lin Rei was stunned. What's going on? What did I do? Although he did not know what was going on, he still went forward and wiped away her tears. Little girl, how old are you? How can you cry so easily? Aren't you afraid of being laughed at? Although she said that, her eyes did not change at all. Even because of her tears, Lin Rei felt his heart ache. He remembered that he had picked up this disciple of his in the other world. At that time, Xiaoyu was really a little girl. Looking at her now, she had already grown so much. Master, you missed you so much. After saying that, she hugged Lin Rei tightly. She looked like she would not let go even if she was beaten to death. In response, Lin Rei helplessly shook his head and did not resist. He allowed her to hug him. Anyway, this was not the first time. He just needed to get used to it. Just like that, the two looked at each other without saying anything. After a long time, Lin Wanyu reluctantly left Lin Rei's embrace. Master, where is this place? I remember that I was cultivating just a moment ago. How did I end up here in the blink of an eye? She could sense that this place was not an illusion, nor was it some sort of magical artifact. This place was real. The murderous aura in this place shocked her even more. Here. Seeing the deathly aura around him, Linley laughed. This is where you'll be staying for the rest of your life. Ah! Lin Wanyu cried out in surprise. Looking at Lin Rei's smiling face, she inexplicably had a bad feeling in her heart. Hee, look, you're already a sage to be. Don't you think it's a pity if you don't take another step forward? Moreover, don't you think that the name sage sounds more impressive than sage to be? So, I've decided to allow you to enter the Dao fruit realm before those junior brothers and sisters of yours. Tell me, have I treated you well? This time, Lin Wanyu was really done for. She thought that she would get some benefits by coming here. She didn't expect that she would end up with such a thing. Moreover, solo training. How King cruel was this? In the past, she didn't think much of it because of those junior brothers and sisters. But now she was alone. Master, I think the sage-to-be is not bad. So a little you don't be so modest. I've heard you say that you want to enter the sage realm. Now, the opportunity is right in front of you. Don't decline it. This time, you're not the only one here. Yun'er is here too. He's right in front. Junior brother is here too? Lin Wanyu was stunned. She couldn't believe it. Wasn't this junior brother the sect leader? If he was here, who was guarding the sect? Go ahead. You two have a good chat. Maybe you'll get something unexpected. After saying that, Lin Rei's figure faded and disappeared in front of Lin Wanyu. No, Master, Just as she was about to say something, Lin Rei's figure disappeared completely. Master? Master? Disciple still has a lot to say, Master. As the saying went, heaven and earth don't respond. This should be the scene right now. After knowing that Lin Rei wouldn't appear, Lin Wanyu didn't dwell on it. She released her divine sense and tried to look for him. But, damn, it can't be. My divine sense can only reach this much? Lin Wanyu was completely stunned when she looked at the scene 5 meters around her. Sigh. She sighed helplessly. The place her master found was indeed a little ruthless. She had no choice. In the end, she wandered in the death zone. But fortunately, it didn't take long for her to feel the presence of spiritual energy. At this moment, Lin Wanyu sprinted as if she had met a family member. Soon, she arrived at the place where the spiritual energy fluctuation was. She saw a figure in a formation. He was waving a long spear and breaking the formation. Oh my God! Family member. Without any hesitation, Lin Wanyu took a step forward and entered the array. Little Yun, Lin Yun, who was trying his best to break the formation, was stunned when he heard the familiar voice. It can't be, Sister Yu, When he turned around and saw Lin Wanyu standing there, he was stunned. You really came? Lin Yun couldn't believe it. What was she doing? But when he thought of Lin Rei's thoughts, he felt relieved. He stopped attacking the formation and came to Lin Wanyu. Sister Yu, when did you come? He asked excitedly. Sigh, you child. Looking at Lin Yun's miserable state, Lin Wanyu reached out her hand and patted Lin Yun's head. She was about the same age as Lin Rei. But back then, she was an orphan. She was weak and helpless. In the end, she followed Lin Rei and became his disciple. Sister Yu, I'm not young anymore. Why are you patting my head? Although he said that, he didn't have the slightest intention of stopping her. Hey, little brat. She pulled her hand back and a set of clothes appeared in her hand. She handed it to Lin Yun. Go and change. Look at your current appearance. You don't have the qualifications to be a sect master. This appearance, it's really... Lin Wanyu couldn't say it because Lin Yun's current appearance could only be described as miserable. How did he get through all this time? How did he end up like this? At this moment, Lin Wanyu was even more suspicious. Would the training that her master talked about be like Lin Yun's? Would he end up like this? No, I can't. Thinking of her ending, Lin Wanyu suddenly had the thought of leaving. This place was too terrifying. Little girl, train well here. Once you're successful, I'll let you go. At that time, your cultivation will be enough to establish yourself in the holy world. Do you understand? Lin Wanyu, who was thinking of leaving, suddenly heard her master's words. She understood that since her master said that, she had enough confidence. She couldn't leave. Chapter 1405. When Lin Wanyu stepped into this place, her fate had already been sealed. Her future was already set in stone. She would be completely exposed, in darkness, and in bloodshed. This time, Lin Rei had already left. Of course, he didn't leave the Death Realm, but went to other places in the Death Realm that hadn't been explored yet. He wanted to completely turn this place into the training ground of the Xuanzong Sect. Lin Rei had never been to the east of the Death Realm before. After exploring the Death Realm for a while, he suddenly realized that the Death Realm wasn't as simple as he thought. There seemed to be signs of people living here. Although the signs weren't particularly obvious, it could be seen that the people living here hadn't left for a long time. Moreover, looking at the traces left behind by the other party's cultivation should be very high. Lin Rei couldn't guess how high it was. In a valley to the east of the Death Realm, Lin Rei rode on the Scarlet Flame Tiger and stepped into the deathly silent valley. What entered his eyes was a ground full of white skeletons. Looking at the number of skeletons, there were at least 100,000 of them. The dense aura made one's hair stand on end. Looking at the scene in front of him, Lin Rei felt a chill down his spine. As for the Scarlet Flame Tiger, it stopped because of the scene in front of it. A hint of worry flashed in its eyes. Brother Lei, should we continue? The Scarlet Flame Tiger wasn't sure. There were so many skeletons here, and the aura was so terrifying. He wasn't sure if they should continue. No one knew what would happen next, and whether there would be powerful existences. If that was the case, neither of them would be able to leave this place. Looking at the skeletons in front of him and hearing the Scarlet Flame Tiger's question, Lin Rei was startled. After a moment of hesitation, he nodded and said, "Let's go. Since we're here, we have to take a look. During this period, I want to completely turn this place into the training ground of the Xuanzong Sect. Therefore, we have to enter this place. I can't leave this place to the Xuanzong Sect's disciples. If that's the case, who knows how many people will die when the time is up." Ow. All right. The Scarlet Flaming Tiger didn't say anything. He understood that he couldn't go against Lin Rei's decision. Moreover, with Lin Rei around, he believed that nothing would happen to him. As he thought about it, although his heart was filled with fear, he still took a firm step forward and walked forward. Kacha. In the beginning, the Scarlet Flame Tiger was able to tolerate the sound of bones cracking. However, as time passed, the sound slowly became a nightmare for the Scarlet Flame Tiger. Close your hearing. Just as the Scarlet Flame Tiger was about to collapse, Lin Rei's voice suddenly sounded in its ears. "Yes, I understand." The Scarlet Flaming Tiger nodded and quickly sealed off its hearing. The originally horrifying sound instantly disappeared, and its ears became quiet. However, the only downside was that it couldn't hear the enemy or the surrounding movements. The Scarlet Flame Tiger carried Lin Rei and walked step by step into the depths of the valley. Its speed was not very fast, and the scenery along the way was taken in by Lin Rei and Xiao Chen. There were no fresh flowers or green grass. There was no scene as imagined. There were only white corpses and horrifying cries. What is this place? Why is there no nether chi here? After entering this place for a period of time, Lin Rei was sure of one thing. There was no nether chi here. Even the air was very thin. He even discovered that there were no natural treasures here. There were only white corpses. From the beginning until now, they had encountered more than a few million corpses. Among them were corpses of humans and demonic beasts. Lin Rei even felt a trace of demonic aura from the corpses. Regarding this, Lin Rei even began to suspect that there had once been a violent war here. The human race, demonic beast race, and demonic beast race. The three major races had all gathered here at the same time. There were even many casualties. At a glance, one could tell that an unprecedented war had broken out. It might even be a war of genocide. "Brother Lei, I think we should just stay here and take a look," the Scarlet Flame Tiger said. "I feel that the deeper we go, the more oppressive I feel. It comes from a king, a king of the demonic beast race. Even my body is starting to not listen to me. A king of the demonic beast race? The Scarlet Flame Tiger's words puzzled Lin Ray. How could a king of the demonic beast race be in this place of peace? Furthermore, he clearly did not feel any demonic aura here. How could there be a demonic beast expert here? However, when he thought of Xiao Chen's demonic beast race, perhaps he had an innate feeling towards demonic beast experts. Xueqi, although he could not completely believe it, he could not disbelieve it. Regarding this, Lin Ray began to be cautious. His gaze swept around as if he wanted to investigate the surrounding situation. Unfortunately, in the end, the result was not satisfactory. It did not go as smoothly as he had expected. He released his divine sense, but there was nothing around. He did not even find the demonic beast aura that Xiao Chen had mentioned. He lowered his head to look at Xiao Chen, and a smile flashed across his eyes. Xiao Chen, let's go forward. If we encounter any danger, I will block it for you. Lin Ray, who was already very interested in this place, became even more interested when he saw this. He had already decided that this place must become the territory of the Xuanzong sect. The Scarlet Flame Tiger did not resist Lin Ray's request. Although he was full of reluctance, he still took a step forward and walked away. However, just as the two of them had left, a black figure suddenly appeared where the two of them had been standing. He looked in the direction that Lin Ray and the Scarlet Flame Tiger had left with slight interest. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly, revealing a creepy smile. How many years has it been? How many years has it been since someone came here? I didn't expect that this time, two people with decent cultivations would come. Not bad. Humph, what do you want? Suddenly, another voice rang out. It was a woman's voice, very pleasant to the ear. I'm telling you this time, don't do anything to those two. Why? Previously, I told my fortune that I would meet the person who would save us here. No one has entered this place for so many years, but he is an exception. Do you think that he is the person in my prophecy who can save us? As soon as these words were spoken, the two voices fell into silence. Neither of them spoke. On the other side, if Lin Ray knew what the two of them were thinking in their existence, he would definitely go crazy. There was no other reason other than that it was too strange. At this moment, Lin Ray was completely unaware that he had been targeted. However, what Lin Ray did not know was that he had been targeted the moment he had arrived here. He had not noticed the other party's existence throughout the entire process. Even when he had advanced to the early stage of the Earth Sage realm, he had not noticed them. At this moment, Lin Ray was nervously exploring the activated valley in front of him. He really wanted to know what was in this death zone that would cause them to kill each other. Chapter 1406. In the depths of the Death Scene Valley, Lin Ray stepped into a place that he should never have explored. The fiery red pool appeared before the two of them. It was bubbling and emitted a scarlet smell of blood. If one didn't know better, they would have thought that it was a pool of fresh blood. Brother Lei, this is really strange. Let's leave quickly, Little Tiger said again. Little Tiger spoke again. He had a bad premonition in his heart. He had a feeling that if this continued, something even more unexpected would happen. However, although the Scarlet Flaming Tiger had such thoughts, Lin Ray didn't think so. At this moment, he had his eyes on this valley. He wouldn't give up until he had thoroughly explored it. Brother Lei. Little Tiger spoke again, but the effect it brought was not as effective as it had imagined. In the end, Lin Ray was still unmoved. In the end, the Scarlet Flaming Tiger chose to give up. TSKSK, looks like this is going to be interesting. Looking at the pool of blood, the system's interest was piqued. It seemed that it knew a little about the origin of the pool of blood. TSSA, if this thing is used well, it might really be able to make this kid completely forget about his obsession. Lin Ray wasn't sure. The system had an idea that targeted him. At this moment, Lin Ray was still thinking about how to get to the bottom of this place. Boom! An explosion suddenly sounded. Suddenly, the pool of blood, which was originally as calm as the surface of water, started to churn. The water in the pool started to gush out uneasily. A faint red chi appeared in the air as the pool of blood boiled. Then, it slowly merged into the pool of blood before Lin Ray and Little Tiger knew what was going on. Scarlet Flaming Tiger? Scarlet Flaming Tiger, you're back? A seductive voice flashed in the Scarlet Flaming Tiger's mind. The Scarlet Flaming Tiger, who was originally on high alert, heard this familiar voice. Suddenly its heart fell. This voice didn't belong to anyone else but Lin Ray, who was riding on its body. However, the voice that appeared in its mind was slightly young, just like when they first met. It was immature. Little Tiger, you said that we have no opponents on the first level. Why don't we? Speaking up to this point, the Flaming Tiger unconsciously raised its head and stared at Linley with a fervent look in its eyes. Hee hee, I haven't even said anything yet, and you already know. Alright then. Then let's head to the second floor and see just how powerful the second floor's Yao beasts are. It'll be a good opportunity for us to break through. After saying that, Lin Ray patted the Scarlet Flame Tiger beneath him and they instantly charged into the depths of forest sky. Roar! Just as they reached the border of the second level, they heard a heaven-shaking roar. This roar was much more powerful than the one they heard on the first level. Furthermore, from the source of this roar, it was at least at the 4th or 5th level of chi refining. Haha, as expected, the second floor is more challenging. Moreover, the spiritual energy on the second floor is much denser than on the first floor. Lin Ray, who had just arrived, immediately felt the difference in spiritual energy on both sides. Roar! The Scarlet Flame Tiger under his but replied in a low voice. Seeing this situation, it was probably provoked. What's wrong, little tiger? Do you feel uncomfortable because you don't feel as powerful as the source of the roar just now? Roar! After hearing Lin Ray's words, the Scarlet Flame Tiger didn't deny it and nodded its huge head. Hee hee, little tiger. Don't be unhappy. They've only cultivated for a few more days than you. Moreover, you have a trace of the Flame Dragon's bloodline in your body. This is your capital to become stronger, and it's not a gap that those Yao beasts can compare to, so you don't have to be sad. After hearing Lin Ray's words, the Scarlet Flame Tiger immediately raised its head. Its eyes were filled with battle intent, as if it wanted to rush over and fight it out. That's right, let's go. Let's hurry up and not disturb their territory. After saying that, Lin Ray patted the Scarlet Flame Tiger's head and went inside. Not long after, Lin Ray and the Scarlet Flame Tiger arrived at a place 10 li away. However, when they arrived, Lin Ray felt that something was wrong. Little tiger, put me down first. I feel that the spiritual chi here is several times stronger than when we first entered the second layer. I'm guessing that there must be something good here. The scene of Sen Tian appeared in his mind. This was the scene when he had just been subdued by Lin Ray. In order to obtain natural treasures, he didn't hesitate to enter the dangerous unknown place. Brother Lei. Looking at the young and courageous Lin Ray, the Scarlet Flame Tiger was stunned. From the very beginning, this master of his didn't seem to know what danger was. This clearly expressed the aura of danger, but he didn't care about it at all. Regarding this, the Scarlet Flame Tiger expressed his helplessness. The scene in his mind had awakened him. As a person who felt uncomfortable, an illusion was nothing to him. Although it was terrifying, it wasn't like the humans who had completely fallen. The Scarlet Flame Tiger bit its tongue and scarlet blood flowed out. The pain instantly engulfed the Scarlet Flame Tiger's entire body. Suddenly, the red aura that had entered the Scarlet Flame Tiger's body was forced out of its body and dissipated into the air. However, Lin Ray wasn't as relaxed as the Scarlet Flame Tiger. The obsession in his heart was too strong, and now with the guidance of the red aura, it completely released the obsession in his heart. The Scarlet Flame Tiger understood that it wouldn't be finished in a short time. It understood who Lin Ray's obsession was, and it also understood the pain of Lin Ray not being able to save Jinling back then. As for Lin Ray, he was completely unaware that he had unknowingly entered his own heart demon. It's finally here. Seeing Lin Ray's pained and extremely sinister expression, the system understood that the red aura had taken effect. Heh, it's time to add fuel to the fire and help you. As it spoke, a pure energy entered the blood pool without Lin Ray and the Scarlet Flame Tiger's intuition. Boom! With a loud rumble, the red aura that was originally invisible to the naked eye completely appeared in front of the two after this change. At this moment, the Scarlet Flame Tiger was dumbfounded. What the hell? The red aura from before was already enough for him to suffer. Now that it had completely erupted, how could he resist so much? Moreover, He had already discovered that something was wrong with Lin Rei. The current Lin Rei didn't look like he had entered his own illusion at all. Instead, it looked like bedeviled? Oh no, I didn't expect Brother Lei's heart demon to appear. Heart demon, this thing was very terrifying to every cultivator, and Lin Rei was no exception. However, he didn't expect it to appear at this time. Brother Lei, quickly wake up when you hear my voice. Now that you're being ravaged by your heart demon, quickly wake up. No matter how the Scarlet Flame Tiger shouted, it was useless in the end. At this moment, Lin Rei couldn't hear anything from the outside world. Chapter 1407. Lin Rei is already used to the illusion, but every time, Lin Rei can't get rid of it. The pain and torture of the illusion. Ling, are you reminding me of my guilt towards you, or are you reminding me that it's time to find you? Looking at the scene in front of him, Lin Rei had no other thoughts. The only thing he had was the urge to find her quickly. Brother Rui, do you know? On our island, eating meat is such a luxury, but you brought back so much meat today. How can the villagers not be surprised? What? Eating meat is a luxury? That's not right. There are so many wild hares and pheasants on the mountain. If they want to eat meat, they can go hunting. Why would you say that? When Jean Rui heard Jean Ling's words, his face showed a puzzled expression. At this time, he was very puzzled as to why it was like this. You don't know. That's because those things run too fast, so we can't catch them. But today is different. I didn't expect Brother Rui to catch so many at once. It's really great. However, Brother Rui, why don't we take advantage of this time to distribute these? We can keep a few. This can ease the gap between you and the villagers. And you decide. I don't know about this. Since the things have been delivered, I'll go back first. Hearing Jean Ling's words, Jean Rui smiled and then took a wild hare and left. At this time, Jean Ling's face was red as she thought about Jean Rui's words of, you decide. After Jean Rui left, Jean Ling listened for a long time before she woke up from her infatuation. Then, she took the hares and pheasants that Jean Rui caught and sent them to each house. Every time she went to a house she would say, this is my brother Rui's gift to you. I hope you can take care of me in the future. Soon, Jean Rui sent over a dozen hares and pheasants. Although it was far from enough, he could only send these. Jean Ling passed by Jean Rui's house and pushed the door in. She saw Jean Rui holding a knife and cutting the rabbit meat. Brother Rui, how can you do this kind of work? Let me do it. When Jean Ling came in and saw that Lin Rui's movements were particularly slow, she strode forward and grabbed the knife in Jean Rui's hand. Then, she began to cook for Lin Rui. Seeing this, Lin Li didn't refuse. Seeing that Jean Ling was cooking while she herself was hiding, he sat to the side and quietly watched Jean Ling's back. Jean Rui felt an indescribable sense of peace in his heart. After a long time, the cooked meal was placed on the broken table by Jean Ling. Seeing this scene, Jean Rui's eyes lit up. Hee, Brother Rui. Hurry up and eat. Otherwise, the food will get cold. At this time, Jean Ling, who had already finished everything last night, turned her head and saw Jean Rui's greedy expression. She couldn't help but smile. This smile made Lin Rui shift his attention from the food on the table to her face. Although this smile couldn't be considered as a devastatingly beautiful woman, it was still extremely beautiful. You. What's wrong with you? Seeing Jean Rui staring at her, Jean Ling blushed and came to Jean Rui's side and asked softly, Oh, eat. Hearing Jean Ling's voice, Jean Rui returned to his senses and awkwardly changed the topic. He quickly came to the table and wolfed down the food cooked by Jean Ling. Cough. In a moment of carelessness, Jean Rui ate too quickly and choked. For a moment, his face turned red. Brother Rui, slow down. No one is fighting with you. When Jean Ling saw Jean Rui's appearance, she hurriedly went to get a bowl of water and handed it to Jean Rui. Her other hand gently patted Jean Rui's back to help him breathe normally. Cough. That, Ling, sit down and eat. Cough. I can't finish it alone. After drinking the water, Jean Rui felt much better and said softly to Jean Ling, Okay. Jean Ling sat down, picked up the food she had prepared earlier, and began to eat slowly. When Jean Rui saw this, he became even more infatuated with her. His hand, which had been continuously reaching into his mouth, unconsciously stopped in midair when he saw Jin Ling's posture as she ate. Of course, Jin Ling, who was eating, also felt this scene. However, she did not raise her head and allowed Jin Rue to admire her. This was because this was what he had been looking forward to. How could she be so stupid as to ruin this scene? This meal was very difficult. It was as if the two of them slowed down. After a few hours, Jin Ling lifted her head and saw Jin Rue, who was looking at her infatuatedly. Then, she stood up and quickly went to Jin Rue's side. With lightning speed, she kissed Jin Rue's face and quickly ran out. Ha! Ha ha! Ha ha ha! After a long time, Jin Rue came back to his senses and thought of the scene where Jin Ling kissed him on the face before she left. For a moment, Lin Rui fell under Jin Ling's pomegranate skirt. After returning home, Jin Ling went into her room and secretly giggled. Her face was even redder than before. She couldn't help but recall the scene where she kissed Jin Rue. Aya, I'm so embarrassed. I don't know what Brother Rue is thinking. Aya, I don't care. I'll ask him tomorrow. After thinking it through, Jin Ling lay on the bed and closed her eyes to sleep. At this moment, Jin Rue wasn't as calm as Jin Ling. At this moment, Jin Rue was lying on the bed, tossing and turning, but he couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the scene today. His heart was like a fire, and it was unbearable. Ah! What's going on? No, I can't sleep at all. In the end, Jin Rue chose a way to vent, and that was to go deep into the mountains to hunt for tomorrow's meal. Jin Rue immediately stood up and took the long knife that he had used to hunt today. Then, he set off on his hunting journey. This time, Jin Rue planned to get a bigger one and share it with all the villagers. With Jin Rue's speed, it didn't take long for him to reach the place where he hunted. However, after waiting for a long time, no prey appeared. Jin Rue could only choose to go deeper into the mountains. Not long after, he saw a white snow fox. Haha, this fox skin can be used to make a dress for Ling Er. Thinking of this, Lin Rui changed his mind. As the saying goes, quiet as a virgin, moving like a rabbit. Lin Rui was like the king of the forest, moving quickly. Compared to Jin Rue, one was like a son, and the other was like a father. They couldn't be compared at all. He saw a white shadow of a beast running in front, and a human shadow chasing behind it. Just like this, it didn't take long for Jin Rue to catch the running snow fox. He found a place with a water source and began the process of skinning the snow fox. Although Jin Rue wasn't very familiar with it, he still finished it in the end. A perfect, snow-white snow fox skin appeared in Jin Rue's hands. Although the snow fox skin was stained with blood, it disappeared without a trace after being washed in water. Haha, Ling Er will definitely like it. Maybe she will even cook a meal for me. At this moment, Jin Rue held the washed snow fox skin in his hands and looked into the distance with a yearning expression. Awu! 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 A wolf's howl came from the surroundings, pulling Jin Rue back to reality from his fantasy. The smile on his face disappeared as well. The old man was surrounded by a group of green eyes. Jin Rue hurriedly tightened his grip on his broadsword and defended himself. Awu! At this time, another wolf howl came, as if it was an order for the wolf pack to attack. After the howl, the wolf pack that didn't make any move suddenly rushed towards Jin Rue. Damn, it seems that it's impossible to be kind today. Seeing the pack of wolves charging over, Linley smiled. The corners of his mouth curled upwards, revealing a murderous expression. If Linley's enemies were here, they would definitely recognize that this ordinary person with no cultivation at all was the god of death, Linley, who had slaughtered them all, leaving not even a chicken or a dog alive. Ha! Die for me! In an instant, Jin Rue didn't hesitate. He directly rushed towards the wolf pack with a watermelon knife. Puff, puff, puff. The sound of Jin Rue slashing echoed. Everywhere Jin Rue passed by, there would be wolf corpses on the spot, blood constantly flowing out. As the saying goes, the night is dark and the wind is strong. Haha, all of you come. Today, I will take you back and let all the villagers eat meat. At this time, Jin Rue was completely blinded by the pleasure of killing. He didn't know how to listen anymore. At this time, Jin Rue seemed to have returned to the time when he didn't lose his memory. Oh woo. At this time, there was a snow-white wolf standing at the highest point, issuing orders to the wolf pack. Ah, so it's you who is causing trouble for me. When Jean Rouet understood everything, he directly gave up on the ordinary wolf pack below and went straight to the Wolf King at the top of the mountain to kill. Wherever Jean Rouet passed, there would be mountains of corpses and seas of blood. No ordinary wolf could withstand one move from Jean Rouet. Haha, die for me. I want to give your meat to Jean Ling, so don't struggle. Seeing the struggle in the Wolf King's eyes, Lin Li chuckled. Then, he leaped 10 meters into the air and arrived in front of the Wolf King in an instant. Taking advantage of the momentum, he plunged his watermelon knife into the Wolf King's skull. Oh! A mournful cry came from the Wolf King's mouth. Not long after, the Wolf King fell unconscious. Seeing this scene, Jean Rouet directly carried the Wolf King, then picked up some fat and tender wolves, and then walked back to the mountain village with the snow fox fur. Along the way, anyone who smelled the blood on Lin Rei's body would retreat. Phew! How deep did I go? It took me so long to get here. At this time, Jean Rouet was calculating in his heart. Later, he remembered that when he entered the mountain at night, he was empty. But now, he came back with a beast that weighed almost 1,000 pounds. Arriving here first, Jean Rouet felt relieved. Dong! Jean Rouet came to a place where he could rest. Then, he threw the beast that he carried for the whole night on the ground and sat on a stone to rest, panting. What Jean Rouet didn't know was that Jean Ling had already decided yesterday to go to his house today to ask for clarification. When Jean Ling came to Jean Rouet's house as promised, she found that the door was not closed. Xia! Jean Ling pushed the door open and went in. Then, she searched all the places she could find, but there was no sign of Jean Rouet. This time, Jean Ling was anxious. Brother Rouet, where did you go? Come out. I won't dare to do it again. Please come out, hoo. When Jean Ling couldn't find Jean Rouet, she directly sat at the gate, crying and shouting, apologizing to Jean Rouet. Of course, this scene was known by the villagers in an instant. After a while, all the villagers of Xueqi village came to Jean Rouet's door. The old man was crying Jean Ling. Everyone's first thought wasn't that Jean Rouet couldn't find her, but that Jean Ling might have been bullied by Jean Rouet. Seeing that Jean Ling was crying very sadly, no one went forward to stop her. They just watched Jean Ling sitting at the gate and crying. They could only sigh and feel sorry for her. Sigh. Such a good girl was bullied by an outsider just like that. What do you think this is called? Yeah, I was going to go to his house to matchmake. You see now this? No, how can we let an outsider bully the people of Xueqi village? No, we have to do something. Otherwise, he will think that we are easy to bully. After everyone's discussion, they finally came to a conclusion that they had to avenge Jean Ling. They couldn't let Jean Ling be bullied. After coming to this conclusion, they went back home and immediately took out their weapons that could kill or beat people. They hurriedly came to the village gate to wait for Jean Rouet, who was pretending that he had escaped. At this time, Jean Rouet happened to be resting. He directly carried all the dead beasts back to the village and just happened to bump into the villagers. Hey, Auntie Agno, look, I'll give you. Originally, when Lin Rei came back and saw them blocking the village gate, he felt that something was wrong. This confirmed Jean Rouet's assumption. Before Jean Rouet could finish his words, he was blocked by Auntie Agno. Beast, you still know to come back. We didn't care about the past and took you in, but what about you? You actually did such an outrageous thing. Tell me, are you worthy of us? From what I see, you might as well kill yourself so that you don't tarnish our eyes. That's right. That's right. Under Auntie Agno's verbal attack, everyone started to roar at Lin Rei. Some people even started to hit him. Even the little children threw stones at Jean Rouet. But they never saw that behind Jean Rouet were the corpses of the Wolf King and many wild wolves. They also didn't see the blood on Lin Rei's body and the bloody broadsword on his back. At this moment, in their eyes, Jean Rouet was still the beast in their hearts, the beast who had tarnished Jean Ling. Ha. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Fine, fine, fine. In that case, those who had nothing to do with me before are even more unrelated now. You don't owe me anything, and I don't owe you anything. From today onwards, I, Jean Rouet, oh no, I, Lin Yu, am no longer a person of your water barrier village. I'm not familiar with you, and I won't stay in the village house. At this moment, no matter how wronged Lin Rei felt, it was no longer important. It was just that the name he changed at the last minute was similar to Lin Rei's name. Perhaps it was fate. Looking at the crowd, Lin Rei could see deep disgust and contempt in everyone's eyes. This was what Lin Yu couldn't tolerate the most. Therefore, Lin Rei decided to leave. Looking at the village that had nothing to do with him, the only thing that Lin Yu couldn't let go of was Jin Ling, but now, turning around, Lin Yu's tears streaked across her eyes and fell to the ground. She reached out and carried the corpses of the Wolf King and the normal wolves on her back. Once again, she walked into the forest. This time, Lin Yu did not enter voluntarily. She was forced into it. Step by step, Lin Yu carried the Wolf King's corpse on her back. She carried the heavy body of the Wolf King and walked into the forest. At this moment, everyone realized that before Lin Yu left, she was carrying the meat on her back and her tattered clothes, as well as the dried blood on her body. Everyone was stunned. Sigh. Let's go back and tell Jin Ling. Tell her that we have avenged her and no one will bully her anymore. At this time, it was still Auntie Anyo who spoke. Bring this kind of person to dinner. Previously, in front of the door where Jin Rui and Lin Yu once lived, it was still Auntie Anyo who stood up and spoke to the sobbing Jin Ling. Don't be sad. We have already taught the stinking brat a lesson. Now, he is in our village and will never appear in front of you again. Yes, this is your Auntie Anyo's idea. This time, we have avenged you. Yes. Lin Yu, who had changed her name, was startled when she heard the words of the uncles and aunts who had watched her grow up. What? What happened to you? What did you say just now? Tell me quickly. What did you do just now? At this time, Jin Ling was no longer as pitiful as before. At this time, she was like a frightened mother who came out to protect her child. She roared at everyone crazily. Her face was frightening. Everyone couldn't help but take a step back because of Jin Ling. Jin Ling, what happened to you? We just helped you vent your anger. There is no need to. Tell me, Brother Rui. Where did Brother Rui go? Tell me, where did he go? System, tell me, how can I find my Ling? This time, I want an accurate answer. No matter what price I have to pay, I must have it. Besides, as you can see, Ling is my inner demon. If I can't find Ling I will live like this forever. Do you think that I can still reach the peak of the Tao? I hope you can give me an accurate answer. Otherwise, I am afraid I will no longer have this ability. This time, the successive illusions are enough to prove that it is time for me to do something. Otherwise, I will not be able to advance. Chapter 1408. The system was silent. Lin Rei was even more silent as he waited for the system's response. This time, he had to get an accurate answer. More and more illusions had appeared during this period of time. The illusions were meant to reflect the pain and sorrow in the depths of his heart. Lin Rei understood that Jin Ling and Jin were guilt that he would never be able to make up for in this lifetime. If he couldn't find them, it would be impossible for him to reach the peak of the Tao. Are you sure you want to find them? Even if you have to pay a price that you can't afford right now? The system asked hesitantly. He had wanted to bring this up long ago, but at that time, Linley's level of cultivation had been too low. Now, although he had broken through to the Earth Saint level, it was still extremely dangerous for him to bring someone back from that place. If he wasn't careful, Lin Rei might die in that place. It had never dared to say anything about this. But now, it saw how anxious Lin Rei was and how he had acted in this period of time. This was enough to prove that Lin Rei's choice might be right, but it might be wrong. I'm sure. Lin Rei didn't hesitate in the face of the system's question. This was the decision that he would never regret in his life. Even if the end result was death, he still wouldn't regret it. Because he had a clear conscience. After getting an accurate answer, the system sighed. In the end, it was helpless against Lin Rei's decision. All right, after this training, I will let you go to that place. However, you must remember, if you encounter danger, do not force yourself to act rashly. Remember, keep your life. Those who have died may still be able to come back to life. But if you die, they won't be able to get their lives back. Do you understand? It was undeniable that the system was right. Lin Rei didn't refute it. Yao does Yao have a chance? No. Lin Rei said. The reason why he could find Jean Ling and Jean En was because they had already reached the stage of astral projection before they died. They had even condensed their souls. As for Lin Yun's mother, Yao she was just an ordinary person. Life and death were dictated by the Tendo, so I can help you with Jean Ling's matter, but Yao it's impossible. I can't hug her. Her soul has completely died, and her soul has long entered the cycle of reincarnation. After so many years, her soul has already been reincarnated countless times, and her soul imprint has long faded, so it's impossible. Give up. Lin Rei wasn't surprised by this answer. He already knew this, but he still didn't want to give up. After all, Lin Yun's existence made him unwilling to give up. As a son, which son wouldn't want their mother by their side? Especially Lin Yun, who lacked maternal love and didn't have a father by his side when he was young. Alright, let's not talk about anything else. Right now, the most important thing is to complete the trial here. Furthermore, I can clearly tell you that the death stage is your current limit. As for the other stages, you won't be able to do it. Only death awaits you if you enter. This is the information I'm giving you for free. Remember, you can only obtain everything you want if you're alive. As for the rest, they're just worldly possessions. After saying that, the system's voice disappeared. Lin Rei also woke up from the illusion with the system's help. When he opened his eyes, he looked at the scene in front of him. He let out a long breath, and a relaxed and happy expression appeared on his face. With this information, Lin Rei was now filled with motivation. Even if he faced a dozen Earth Saints, he would be able to fight them without losing. Blood pool, come, let me see what you are. There was already a blood pool before, and now there's another one. I'd like to see how different the two of you are. After saying that, the primal chaos dragon spear appeared in his hand, and he flew towards the blood pool. What happened earlier was enough for him to be cautious of the blood pool. So, boom! Plop! Suddenly, a phenomenon appeared. The originally calm blood pool suddenly splashed, and a tentacle soared into the sky, rushing towards the direction Lin Rei had just soared into the sky. As expected, he already knew that the blood pool wouldn't be so calm, but he was still surprised by the appearance of the tentacle. The creature in the blood pool wasn't in the previous blood pool. There were only corpses in the previous blood pool, but it was the complete opposite here. Ants, you dare to fly in the air where I am. Don't you know the rules here? A roar filled with Sanskrit sounds exploded in Lin Rei's ears. Not good. Suddenly, the saint's spiritual chi in his body stagnated, and he felt overwhelmed. Lin Rei, who was flying in the air, staggered and almost fell from the sky. Fortunately, the saint's spiritual chi in his body suddenly recovered just before he fell, and he stabilized his body. This thing? What happened just now was definitely not a coincidence, and Lin Rei attributed it to the owner of the voice just now. Don't you understand? The voice sounded again. This time, Lin Rei was prepared, and the saint's spiritual chi didn't stagnate like before. And this time, Lin Rei was sure that the previous incident was caused by the voice just now. He stopped and stared at the tentacle in the air, and his heart was indescribably vigilant. Senior, how should I address you? As the saying goes, it's better to have one more friend than one more enemy. Before the other party makes a move, anything is possible. Humph. Ant-like dog, do you think you have the right to know my name? And, saying that, the tentacle moved and like lightning, it descended from the sky and rushed towards Lin Rei. Bang! With a muffled sound, the tentacle rushed in front of Lin Rei. Lin Rei, who had to be prepared, raised his long spear to block. The tentacle collided with Lin Rei's long spear. Swoosh! A figure streaked across the sky like a shooting star, and Lin Rei's figure disappeared on the spot. 1,000 meters away, Lin Rei's figure appeared and crashed into the mountain rock. The mountain rock instantly crumbled, and his body didn't stop at all as he rushed backwards again. As a complete Earth Sage, he didn't feel any pain from the collision, but the collision of the tentacle caused him unbearable pain, especially from the pain he felt for the first time. It made him understand that he was no match for this thing in front of him. At the very least, if he didn't use his full strength, he wouldn't be able to rush out. Bang! Plop! Plop! Finally, Lin Rei's body stopped moving backwards and landed at the foot of a mountain rock. His body stopped moving, and a trace of purple blood could be seen at the corner of his mouth. Pff. A mouthful of blood gushed out, and his breath was slightly weakened. The pain in his body was constantly stimulating Lin Rei's spirit. Bloodthirsty perception, an ancient demonic beast with the bloodline of the demonic god in its body. So, its body cultivation is far above yours. As for its cultivation, I think you should have felt the collision just now, right? The system's voice sounded, and Lin Rei became silent. Combined with the information given by the system, he felt even more uncertain. Previously, he still had a trace of hope. But now, after hearing the system's words, he understood that he had no chance of winning. At the same time, since the system came out, it was enough to prove that it wanted to help. Otherwise, it wouldn't have taken the initiative to help. Tell me, what's the price? Lin Rei didn't waste time talking nonsense. He understood the system's rules. If he helped, he must pay the price. It was impossible for it to be free. This wasn't the system's character. 10 million exchange points, and the system will help you get through this danger. How about it? Motherf ****. After hearing the system's price, Lin Rei's mouth twitched. His eyes twitched, and 10,000 curses ran through his mind. Causing trouble, it's too good at causing trouble. 10 million just by moving a finger. Isn't this money too easy to earn? Although he didn't want to give it, but... Okay, I agree. But you have to give me 3 drops of blood essence from the bloodthirsty perception. If that's the case, then come. If not, I can go back the way I came. This way I won't lose out. What do you think? You brat. The system laughed. If that's the case, then let's do it. Okay, deal. Lin Rei smiled. Although he still felt that he lost out, in the end, 3 drops of blood essence from the bloodthirsty perception could be considered as more preparation for little tiger. 10 million it was. If it could help the red flame tiger, everything would be worth it. Ding! The familiar electronic voice sounded in Lin Rei's mind. Ding! The system will take over. Does the host agree? Ding! The system will consume 10 million exchange points. Does the host agree? Hearing the 10 million, Lin Rei felt that he lost out. But he was honest. Come, deduct 10 million. Take over. Ding! The system is activated. Ding! 10 million exchange points have been deducted. Host, please check it yourself. As soon as he said that, a sense of exhaustion suddenly welled up in his heart. System will take over. Host, please do not resist. Lin Rei let go of his consciousness. He trusted the system, so without hesitation, he allowed the system to take over his body. Ding! The system has taken over. Begin battle. Suddenly, Lin Rei regained consciousness, but his body was no longer under his control. Move! Lin Rei moved. His body flashed quickly, and his speed was many times faster than when Lin Rei was alone. Lin Rei only felt his vision blurring. When he saw the scene clearly again, he was in front of the tentacle. Damn, the system is awesome. Filled with excitement, Lin Rei raised his hand and grabbed the heaven-reaching tentacle. With a tug and a tug, he sent the tentacle flying into the air. How is this possible? A cry of surprise came from the blood pool. Then, a figure similar to an octopus appeared. However, the difference was that on the head of the demonic beast, there were 2 prominent sarcomas. This is the bloodthirsty perception? Seeing the full figure of the demonic beast, Lin Rei exclaimed. He was curious. This was the first time he saw such a creature. At this moment, he felt the strength of this demonic beast, and he was even more shocked than before. As expected, luckily I didn't bite the bullet and rush over. Looking at the power of the bloodthirsty perception, Lin Rei began to realize his previous decision. Now, he forgot the feeling of being tempted by the 10 million exchange points. Rise! Lin Rei roared. Using both hands, he swung his arms and instantly lifted the bloodthirsty perception, throwing it into the air. No, impossible. How did your strength suddenly increase by so much? A cry of disbelief was heard. Fant? Looking at the bloodthirsty perception that was thrown into the air, Lin Rei mocked. Now, Who do you think is an ant? Who is the joke? As he spoke, he channeled all the strength in his body and rushed toward the bloodthirsty perception. When he arrived in front of the bloodthirsty perception, he clenched his fist and threw a punch at its face. Bang! Ah! A muffled sound accompanied by a hoarse roar, which was ear-piercing to Lin Rei's ears. This bastard, wasn't he pretty awesome just now? In the Divine Sea, seeing the scene of the bloodthirsty perception being beaten up by Lin Rei, he cried out in joy. Although he wasn't the one who did it, he couldn't help but be excited. Look carefully, this is a left hook. It seemed to be talking to Lin Rei, but also to the bloodthirsty perception. Lin Rei raised his hand and threw a left hook at the bloodthirsty perception's face. Bang! Right hook. Another punch. Blood spurted out from the bloodthirsty perception's mouth. The scene was extremely violent and bloody. It was hard to look at. Oh my God! Looking at this scene, Lin Rei was stunned. His body trembled. The cruelty of the system was beyond his imagination. Linley wasn't certain whether or not he would be able to withstand that punch. Bastard, you! You, who are you? The bloodthirsty perception's voice was filled with pain. His face was filled with brutality and malevolence. His eyes were filled with hatred as he looked at Lin Rei. One moment, he was like a weak chicken. The next moment, he was like a chicken that ate Viagra. His body was filled with strength. This wasn't normal. Even the aura that Lin Rei was emitting was completely different from the Lin Rei from before. As an expert, the bloodthirsty perception was still there. You don't deserve to know my name. The same words sounded different when spoken by different people. Hearing Lin Rei's words, the bloodthirsty perception was speechless. This mother-f*** stole my words for free? Of course, Lin Rei didn't explain too much about this matter. Come, let me see the true power of the bloodthirsty perception. Oh right, don't be ashamed of your race. Your race is an extremely powerful existence. Even when Hongmeng was first established, when the Great Desolate Era came, your race was still an invincible existence. However, I don't know if you... There was a hidden meaning in his words. The bloodthirsty perception couldn't bear it anymore. He wanted to make a move. He wanted to kill the person in front of him. The bloodthirsty perception's race was known by others in the Great Desolate Era. However, the times were different now. His race had a rule that outsiders couldn't know about his race's residents. Therefore, to Lin Rei in front of him, only by killing him would he be able to prevent future troubles. Only then would he be able to protect his home. Chapter 1409. Roar! I will tear you apart. He moved. Even though he knew he wasn't Lin Rei's opponent, he had insulted his clan and even knew about the existence of his clan. Just this alone was enough to make him want to kill. Especially when he was still in his territory, flying in the sky and breaking his rules. This was even more intolerable. Come, let me see if the power of the bloodthirsty sensory perception is as powerful as the legends say. Raising his hand, he conjured a seal. Beams of sword light instantly shot out from the seal, heading straight for bloodthirsty perception. Their speed was as fast as lightning, yet also as fleeting as a glimpse of a fleeting moment. Puchi! The sound of flesh being pierced echoed. The sword lights collided with the bloodthirsty sensory perception's body. The sharpness of the sword lights caught him off guard. However, to him, this didn't affect him at all. At this moment, he only had one thought. That was to kill this person who insulted him. Insulting a member of his clan. Therefore, he couldn't tolerate the existence of such a person. Dang! Finally, after being washed by thousands of sword lights, he arrived in front of Lin Rei. He raised his tentacle and slapped down on Lin Rei's head. That speed, that strength. If it was the previous Lin Rei, he might not be able to do anything. However, the current Lin Rei didn't even put this in his eyes. Insignificant skill. Do you really think my sword lights only have this little effect? Ignoring the tentacle slapping down on his head, Zhongchen said. What? Seeing that Lin Rei didn't make a move, the bloodthirsty sensory perception was confused. However, just as he was wondering what Lin Rei was doing, a heart-wrenching pain emerged from his body. Like a surging wave, it surged over and didn't give the bloodthirsty sensory perception any chance to react. PFFF. PFFF. Gotcha! The sound of blood spurting out and bones cracking could be heard. Seeing the bloodthirsty sensory perception turning into a little bloody person, Lin Rei didn't stop his actions. Transformation. Lin Rei's hand seals were formed, and mysterious runes that he couldn't understand emerged one after another. In the next moment, Lin Rei's body began to change. Time passed bit by bit. Slowly, another bloodthirsty synesthesia appeared. And this was the transmogrification that Linley had spoken of. I'll throw it. That's awesome. Staring at the bloodthirsty synesthesia created by the system, Linley was stupefied. He couldn't tell at all that the bloodthirsty synesthesia created by the system was the same person. Instead, he felt like he was a monstrous beast through and through. Who are you? Enduring the pain, he looked at Lin Rei's bloodthirsty perception in front of him. A hint of disbelief flashed across his eyes. He couldn't accept this. Humph, you'll find out soon enough. After saying that, it raised its tentacles, just like what bloodthirsty perception had done before. It was aimed at Bloodthirsty's head. On the other side, another tentacle attacked Bloodthirsty's other body parts. Bastard, you! Bloodthirsty perception panicked when he saw the tentacles that were attacking him. Boom! Plop! 2 tentacles landed solidly on bloodthirsty perception's body. Not a single one missed. Ah! Pain, hatred, malevolence. At this moment, countless expressions appeared on bloodthirsty perception's ugly face. Are you in pain? Are you in despair? Lin Rei spoke. His eyes were filled with coldness. Didn't you attack me like king before? What about now? Do you still want to attack me? Provocation. A dejected provocation. Isn't this a joke? The current him was already thanking the heavens and earth for being able to leave. How would he dare to attack? What a joke. All right, I don't want to waste any more time here. Give me 3 drops of your blood essence and this matter will be settled. Otherwise, this place will be your burial ground. Give me your blood essence or die. Choose for yourself. Bloodthirsty perception hesitated. Indeed, he would be able to live if he gave away his blood essence. However, his bloodline was so precious. If he gave it away, wouldn't it be the same as sullying his bloodline? Can you change your condition? Bloodthirsty perception asked in a low voice. Amen. Looking at bloodthirsty perception, Lin Rei's face flashed with displeasure. He was somewhat angry at bloodthirsty perception's words. Originally, he didn't want to choose. Now, he actually wanted to change his condition? What a joke. Raising his hand, Lin Rei didn't force it. A terrifying aura flashed around him. A pressure similar to the Great Tao appeared in the vicinity of the blood pool. Great Tao? Great Tao pressure? How is this possible? How do you know such a technique? As a demonic beast that had survived since the Great Desolate Era, he was very clear about the Great Tao. However, he didn't understand how a human could have such a powerful cultivation. Furthermore, the Great Tao pressure that was displayed just now. This wasn't something that a human could display. Ignoring bloodthirsty perception, he continued to increase the strength in his hand. The Great Tao pressure in the surroundings became denser and denser. In the end, bloodthirsty perception was pressed to the ground by the Great Tao pressure. His entire body was like a dead dog. He was in a very sorry state. The wounds on his body were especially horrifying. They made it difficult for him to move. His vitality was also dissipating along with the loss of blood. Heavenly policy. Damn it! When Linley, who was in the deity sea, heard the word swastika from the heavenly policy, he immediately thought of the martial gods treatise. He now suspected that the martial gods treatise might be a copy of the heavenly policy. This was the power and pressure that the martial god strategy should have originally possessed. However, he didn't have time to think about this. He opened his eyes and stared at the scene in front of him. He wanted to see how powerful the heavenly policy was. The Great Tao pressure was extremely dense. With a raise of his hand, the Chaos Dragon Spear appeared in Lin Rei's hand. A terrifying aura condensed at the tip of the spear. The aura was almost condensed. He raised his hand and rushed towards bloodthirsty perception. His speed was so fast that in a flash, Lin Rei's figure appeared in front of bloodthirsty perception. The Chaos Dragon Spear that was condensed with the power of the heavenly policy had already wiped out Bloodthirsty Perception's body. You dare! Feeling the rapid loss of vitality in his body, Bloodthirsty Perception was filled with regret. If he had given his blood essence, he wouldn't be in this state right now. Time passed bit by bit. Only when he saw that the bloodthirsty synesthesia had completely died did the system remove its control, allowing Linley to once again take control of his body. Crack, crack, crack. Huff, huff. He let out a long breath of turbid air. His face revealed a relaxed and happy expression. He strolled in front of Bloodthirsty Perception and reached out to pull out the Chaos Dragon Spear. He kept it in the system space to nourish it. Raising his head, he looked at the huge creature in front of him. His throat moved. Although this fellow was ugly, it was still a huge creature that he couldn't fight against. In a while, I will eat you. Chapter 14:10. Host, you have such a strong taste. Isn't your mother worried about you? The system had no idea how to deal with such a fetish. It even wanted to eat the other party after killing them. Especially with the other party's appearance, it made people lose their appetite. If he was Lin Ray, he would definitely not eat it. Even if the other party's cultivation was so strong, he would not do such a thing. Cheh! Rolling his eyes, he rolled his eyes and curled his lips. System, this is your ignorance. This bloodthirsty sensory perception can be considered the king of seafood. Especially this purification ability. Who knows, maybe if I eat it, my physical body or cultivation base can break through. Of course, the most important thing was that he wanted to try it out. How delicious was this demonic beast that had existed since ancient times? After saying that, he did not kiss the system. Squatting down, streams of Saint Spirit Chi rushed out and turned into knives, starting to deal with the bloodthirsty perception. The scene could be said to be extremely cruel. That bloody scene was too disgusting to look at. You're really something. You really did find this host. Seeing Linley's actions, the system sighed and hurriedly returned to where it was supposed to be. On the other side, Lin Yun and Lin Wanyu were not as relaxed as Lin Ray. They did not have a helper like the system to help them get out of the trap. Just a day ago, the two of them had planned to join forces to break through the array. However, they were too optimistic. Lin Ray did not know that the array was many times more difficult. As long as you wanted to join forces with someone else, it was possible. As long as the two of them could withstand such a terrifying array, it was fine. However, Lin Ray did not say this. The two of them foolishly joined forces, thinking that they would be able to break through the array faster and return faster. But when they actually entered the array, they realized that there was something wrong with the array. But at that time, the two of them were inside the array. It was too late to regret. Coincidentally, the array activated at that moment. For a moment, the two of them joined forces to resist the sword rain. The first-grade Saint Array was completely activated. Facing the two of them, it did not feel embarrassed at all. With a raise of its hand, a storm of wind and rain came at them. Kacha kacha! The rain of swords landed on their shields, producing crisp sounds. If one were to look closely, they would be able to see that cracks had appeared on their shields, as if they were about to shatter at any moment. Father, why is this array formation of yours on the same level as the one before? Master, are you trying to murder your disciple? The two of them looked at each other. Their eyes were filled with indescribable bitterness. They were completely helpless against their master. How could they let two sage-level experts face a sage-level array formation? Senior sister, now is not the time to complain. The only thing we can do now is to use the array to fight the array. Lin Yun suddenly interrupted Lin Wanyu. At the same time, these words brought a trace of hope to Lin Wanyu. It was as if a bright light had suddenly appeared in the middle of the night, illuminating the path ahead. Array formation? He looked at Lin Yun with doubt in his eyes. Which one of them knew how to use arrays? In any case, Lin Wanyu did not feel very good about herself. As for Lin Yun, she had never felt that this little brat was actually an array master. He seemed to understand Lin Wanyu's meaning. He smiled and a disc array appeared in his hand. Senior sister, this is the array formation I was talking about. Array formation? Master gave it to you. Looking at the disc array, Lin Wanyu was excited. Perhaps Perhaps it really could be used. Father left it behind when he left. He just could not bear to use it. As he spoke, he raised his hand and a stream of pure spiritual energy flowed into the disc array. Boom! A loud rumble sounded. The disc array in Lin Yun's hand was activated the moment it received Lin Yun's immense spiritual energy. Rumble! The rumbling sounds were endless. The two people who were originally in the array disappeared. His figure disappeared in an instant. When he reappeared, he was already in another formation. Like I said, how could it not work? Looking at the scene in front of him, Lin Yun was 100% sure that this was the array formation he had just sent out. However, he did not expect it to be like this. This was his first time here. If Lin Rei saw this scene again, he would definitely grab Lin Yun's butt. This array formation had been refined for a long time. In the end, it was given to Lin Yun to save his life. Now that he had taken it out, it was used to fight against time. Damn it! The scenery in the array formation was pleasant. There were mountains and rivers. This was something that Lin Rei had created in the land of the gods. Back then, in order to refine this thing, he had gone to several places to gather the materials. Now, it was used to deal with him? Damn! This place is an array formation? Lin Wanyu exclaimed. It should be. This is also my first time here, said Lin Yun. Humph. Master is biased. No matter what, I am his eldest disciple. Why didn't he give me something like this? Lin Wanyu said with an aggrieved look. Lin Yun was stunned. That's enough, senior sister. In the end, Lin Yun could not bear it and interrupted Lin Wanyu. Now that we're safe, let's look for a way to break the array formation outside. As he spoke, he waved his hand and a bamboo slip appeared. Lin Yun sat on the ground and began to read it. Although it looked simple, it contained the Xuanzong Sect's secrets, cultivation techniques, and other miscellaneous notes. All right. Although she wanted to slack off, seeing how hard Lin Yun was working, she did not want to continue. In the end, she could only sit down and read. On the other side, Lin Rei had dealt with the bloodthirsty perception. After a few days, Lin Rei finally captured a 300-meter-long demonic beast. It was going to be his meal in the future. Phew. After doing all this, Lin Yun let out a long breath and sat on the ground with an indescribable sense of relief. It's time to continue. If the demonic beasts outside are so powerful, then what about the ones inside? Looking at the few exchange points he had left, he was really afraid that this trip would expose him. What are you thinking? The system suddenly said. Host, the system is not a vampire. Moreover, do you think seizing is so easy? What do you mean? To be precise, your physical body is too weak. With your current body, it will take at least 2 times before seizing you a second time. So, don't worry. Your exchange points will not become the system's for the time being. Lin Rei was speechless. Lin Rei did not want to say anything to the system. However, he was vexed by the fact that it would take 2 times before seizing him a second time. Chapter 14:11. Weak. It had been a long time since Linley had heard the word weak. Most likely, he would only hear this word from the system. After all, Linley acknowledged the system's strength. However, that might not be the case with his mouth. All right, system. As if he had thought of something, he said, about the construction of the sect and the first-grade sect, how do I build it? How do I upgrade the sect? The rookie sect master that the system was referring to was barely qualified, so he was unhappy. I'm an Earth Sage Realm powerhouse. Don't make it sound like I'm trash. Back to the topic, the system stopped mocking Lin Rei and said in a serious tone, have you thought about the construction of the sect? Nonsense. He rolled his eyes and continued, the cultivation of the sect's disciples is too weak now. If they want to establish themselves in the holy world, they need a place to train. Although he wanted to send the entire Xuanzong sect over, after this guy's teleportation, he understood that if he wanted to send all the disciples of the Xuanzong sect over, he would need a lot of exchange points. Although he had a little more than 100 million on him, it was not enough to teleport everyone in the Xuanzong sect. Therefore, he could only put some effort into the construction of the sect. As for this place, he naturally wouldn't give it up. When he had the money, he would send the disciples back bit by bit. The system naturally knew what Linray was thinking. It couldn't help but feel gratified. You should have thought of this long ago. Your little bit of exchange points isn't even enough to fill the gaps between my teeth. The system wasn't stingy at all. It was used to mocking Linray. F***CK. Will you die if you don't mock me? Although he was unhappy with the system's words, he had to admit that it made sense. Alright, let's cut the crap and start your performance. Give me some recommendations. What do I need the most? No, what do the mysterious sect's disciples need the most to build their sect? The system fell silent. Linray didn't have any combat power. Since the road ahead was going to be difficult, it was better to find something to do here. Time slowly passed. Just as Linray was feeling bored to death, a screen suddenly appeared. One by one, the templates appeared in front of him, allowing him to choose. The sword cleansing pool can wash away the dust and dirt, allowing one to possess a sword body and rapidly increase one's sword Dao cultivation. The Devil Refinement region is a place for devil cultivators to practice. In the Devil Refinement region, a devil cultivator's cultivation speed can be increased by 5 times. Body Tempering Mountain, as the name suggests, trains a cultivator's physique. Currently, it can only reach the Eternal stage. Of course, if the host continues to improve, the Body Tempering Mountain will reach even higher levels, even reaching the peak of Dao. Linray had the urge to buy them all as he looked at the construction of the sects that would make anyone's eyes red with envy. This is too awesome. If I had these things back then, would I be in such a sorry state, running here and there in search of cultivation resources? Of course. He knew that this was impossible. Hey, you brat, don't say that first. Take a look and see what their prices are. The system said. Price. He couldn't help but have a bad feeling. That's right, he was too focused on looking at the items just now and didn't see the prices. When he looked down, his eyes widened and his mouth opened wide, as if he had just eaten a monster. F***CK, are you kidding me? Linley cried out in shock. His entire being was filled with shock and disbelief, and he was unable to regain his composure for a long time. The cheapest Body Tempering Mountain was more than 100 million. As for the others, looking at the string of numbers, Linray felt like he had been F***ed. Come, system, come out. I promise I won't beat you to death. Linley was speechless. This was too expensive. With all the money he had on him, he could only afford a single Body Tempering Mountain if he added it all up. Thinking about it, endless sorrow welled up in his heart. After so many years, he didn't have any money at all. The host can choose not to buy. This transaction is for resources. Take it or leave it. Linray. This service attitude, I'm the owner of the system. Is it really okay for you to be like this? Of course, he couldn't say this out loud. But in his heart, the system was very strong. He was conflicted. Incomparably conflicted. More than 100 million. This made him want to bang his head against the wall. F***CK. Forget it. As the saying goes, Tendo rewards diligence. I don't believe that an inanimate object can stop me. Thinking about it, he gritted his teeth and nodded. I'll buy Body Tempering Mountain. Ding, okay, I'll immediately process the purchase for the host. The system responded very quickly, as if it had been waiting for a long time and knew that Linray had already bought it. Regarding this, Linray completely lost his temper. Saying that he was a vampire? At this moment, the system was showing the true nature of a vampire. In the end, Linray had no choice but to compromise. At this moment, he needed these things very much. In a sect, it was useless for him to be strong alone. In the face of a strong enemy, it was difficult for two fists to have a fourth move. If it was a strong sect, everyone in the sect could intimidate an area, then it would be different. And Linray wanted to be a sect like this. This was also the shortcoming that he realized after the system's reminder. Ding. Purchase completed. Purchase successful. 120 million exchange points will be automatically deducted. Host, please check for yourself after the transaction. Ding. Purchase of Body Tempering Mountain successful. Where would the host like to place it in the sect? Please check. As soon as the system finished speaking, the entire Xuanzong sect appeared in front of him. Damn, what did they do after I left? Looking at the Xuanzong sect's increase in area, he was momentarily speechless. Sometimes, the Xuanzong sect could be said to be a small place, but now it had become a form. Ding. Please confirm the location of the sect. I, the buyer, am not in a hurry, but you, the seller, are very anxious. Thinking of this, his eyes scanned every place on the plan. After looking and thinking, his eyes finally fell on a mountain peak next to the Xuanzong sect's secret realm. Hey, not bad, it's quiet here. Here it is. Pointing at the original location, he responded. Ding, the host has set the original location and is in the process of binding. The binding time is 24 hours. Please check at any time. Wow, you can't be serious. Hearing that it was 24 hours, Lin Rei was speechless. He thought that it would take shape immediately, but he didn't expect that it would take time to load. This was disgusting. After all, he had spent more than 100 million exchange points to get it. This didn't have the ability to take shape instantly? Ding. Please be careful with your words. Before the construction is completed, if the host has any slanderous words, the construction of the system will be automatically retracted. He vomited. This function really gave Lin Rei a stab. Too shameless. Chapter 14:12. Since he couldn't do anything to the system, the matter would be left unsettled. He wouldn't be so foolish as to speak rashly and let the construction of the sect, which he had spent more than 100 million exchange points on, go down the drain. Anyone who wasn't a fool would do that, especially when dealing with a cunning old fox like the system. Lin Rei was waiting in the death zone. At this moment, in the deepest part of the Xuanzong sect in Chuyuan Valley, there was a rumbling sound. Because the Xuanzong sect had recovered its territory, the Xuanzong sect had become a little bloated. Coupled with the sudden disappearance of the sect leader, all the disciples and elders were in seclusion. With the sudden rumbling sound, the disciples and elders in seclusion instantly woke up from their cultivation. Rumble. After the rumbling sound, the earth shook and the mountains shook. At this moment, everyone thought that someone was attacking the sect. However, when they released their divine senses to investigate the situation, they were all dumbfounded. Originally, there was an inconspicuous mountain next to the arcane realm in the deepest part of the Xuanzong sect. But now, the mountain was rising. Yes, that's right, it was rising. And it was rising at a speed visible to the naked eye. This scene made everyone lose the mood to continue their seclusion. Just like that, the seclusion failed. Everyone came out of seclusion and flocked to the mountain. At this moment, there were a few figures in front of the mountain. Looking at the figures, everyone quickly bowed and said, "Greetings, Madam Sect Leader and Elders." At this moment, the first to arrive were naturally Ying and Bing, who were in the arcane realm, followed by Red Lotus and the other elders. Looking at the people behind them, Ying and the others nodded slightly. Then, they focused their attention on the rising mountain. Their eyes were indescribably solemn. "Sister, what's going on?" "I just checked, but I didn't find anything," Bing said. For all the saints, this kind of checking at the lowest level was a walk in the park. But now, Bing didn't find anything. It was as if this thing had suddenly appeared. But it did seem to be rising suddenly. It was just that the speed of its rise was a little too fast. The mountain was taller than all the other mountains in the Xuanzong sect. Even so, the speed at which the mountain was rising did not slow down. It seemed as if it was still rising. At this moment, everyone had no choice but to take it seriously. Whether the sudden appearance of this thing was a blessing or a curse was still unknown. "All of you, return to your residences and leave this place. Hurry." She did not dare to be careless. Behind her was her husband, Lin Rei, who had protected everything. Therefore, she naturally had to protect him as well. That's right. Hong Lian and the others agreed. They turned around and gave out orders one after another. The originally crowded place instantly became deserted. "Everyone, guard this place with me. If a battle breaks out, we will strive to get the Xuanzong sect disciples to leave. As elders of the Xuanzong sect, we will naturally take the lead." "It's my duty. It's my duty." Everyone spoke in unison. Their eyes were filled with determination as if they were prepared to die. Ying was very pleased with everyone's answer. He looked at each other and nodded. Then, He sat down cross-legged in the air and raised his hand. A huge barrier appeared. Swoosh swoosh. The rest of the people sat down around the mountain. They released their cultivation and supported the barrier, isolating the mountain from the outside world. Even though they had done all this, Ying and the others were still worried. The appearance of this thing was too sudden, and they were a little unprepared. At this moment, Rua Linrei would definitely be dumbfounded if he were here. He did not expect that his actions would make the Xuanzong sect a strong enemy and uneasy. At this moment, Linrei, who had come out of the death zone, was lying on the ground with his legs crossed. He had a piece of grass in his mouth and was humming a tune. He was very uncomfortable. I wonder what the situation in the Xuanzong sect is like now. He was very curious to see what the Xuanzong sect would do after the sudden appearance of this thing. Yes. The system's voice suddenly sounded. When the body-forging mountain is completed, the host's divine sense will be able to connect to the mountain and release a projection. At that time, you will be able to see the Xuanzong sect and the people you have not seen in a long time. Really? Hearing the system's words, Linrei was a little doubtful. Why did it say whatever he wanted? Thinking of the number of times the system had tricked him in the past, for a moment, he did not believe the system. The system was connected to Linrei's mind, so naturally, it could feel Linrei's thoughts. Believe it or not, it's up to you. Anyway, after 24 hours you will know. So, I don't need to explain more here. After saying that, the system's voice disappeared. At this moment, Linrei was not calm. The system's words made Linrei believe it. Maybe it really can. Ying Bing and everyone else, are you okay? In the depths of the Xuanzong sect. At this moment, Ying and the others were not very good, because they did not know that the barrier could not prevent the height of the mountain from increasing. Kacha kacha. The cracking sound was like a hammer, ruthlessly pounding on everyone's hearts. Looking at the cracks on the barrier, Bing said, "What should we do? The barrier is going to break soon." Everyone looked at each other speechlessly. They had no choice. The barrier just now had used up all their strength. As such, the strength of the mountain exceeded everyone's strength and cultivation. Sigh. There's no other way. Now, we can only take one step at a time. Facing this thing, Ying was helpless and powerless. She could not figure out how this thing appeared, and there was no sign of it at all. Are we going to let it continue to grow like this? Bing was anxious. The speed of the mountain's growth was too fast. If it continued to grow, the secret territory beside it might be affected or even destroyed. Madam, the power of this mountain is too strong. Its cultivation has exceeded everyone's. We are no match for it. Yes, madam. This thing is too strange. It suddenly appeared and is so strong. We are really helpless. Hearing this, everyone nodded, and their eyes flashed with helplessness. This was the first time they felt that they were not strong enough since they had become Earth Saints. It was the same feeling they had when more than 10 sects had besieged the Xuanzong sect. Everyone, let's wait for a while more. If it doesn't work, we can only look for another place. Although this place was found by my husband, I believe he would not want to see us lose our sect's disciples. So, is this the only way? Bing lowered his head, and his teary eyes made him look very pitiful. If Linrei was here, he would definitely be heartbroken. Then, it's decided. Red Lotus will inform us later. We will try to stop it. Now this is the only way. Red Lotus got up and kowtowed to Ying. Yes, madam. I will not let you down. Just like that, everyone decided. Chapter 14:13. The people of the Xuanzong sect were in full swing, but Linrei knew nothing about it. He, on the other hand, was waiting for the time to come for the construction of the sect. He was able to see his disciples, and most importantly, his wife and children. This was what he wanted to see the most. Time was like a donkey. It would not move if you let it, but it would always move backwards. You hoped that time would pass faster, but time was not on your side. When you stopped looking, when you stopped thinking, in the blink of an eye, 24 hours had passed and the sect had disappeared. The time for the construction of the sect finally passed while Linrei was waiting in boredom. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the first sect construction. The system has rewarded the host with a chance to draw a lottery. Please make good use of it. Lin Rei was speechless. Lin Rei did not really care about the lottery given by the system. With his previous actions, the lottery was dispensable to him. All right, let's hurry up. Lin Rei was impatient. Ding! Sect construction completed. The host is connected to the Xuanzong Sect's body forging mountain through the teleportation portal. Ding! Teleportation portal activated. The host has not transmigrated once. The reward is 500,000 redemption points. Please make good use of it. Ding! Since the host has completed the construction of the system for the first time, the host has obtained a free teleportation portal. Ding! Teleportation portal. Yes or no? F***CK. Isn't this nonsense? Which idiot wouldn't choose this? As he thought about it, a smile appeared on his face. He said softly, "Yes, of course it is." The system said, "What a hypocrite. Shameless." Lin Rei was speechless. What else could he say? Wasn't it just a little perverted? Was there a need to be like this? Of course, at this moment, he did not care too much about it. Let's start quickly. I can't wait. Lin Rei urged. Tsk, you brat. Lin Rei's current appearance did not look like an Earth Saint cultivator at all. He could not help but shake his head and sigh. All right, close your eyes. When you wake up again, you will be on the body forging mountain of the Xuanzong Sect. Oh, right. As if he had thought of something, he reminded him, the duration of this teleportation is fixed. You can only stay in the body tempering mountain of the Xuanzong Sect for 12 hours. Once the 12 hours are up, you will return to your original body and wait for the next teleportation. Lin Rei could see through the nature of the system's pitfalls. There was nothing he could do, and he couldn't retort unless he wanted to be punished by the system. He nodded and replied, "All right, since that's the case, let's hurry up and teleport. It's only 12 hours. What can we do?" Heh, it's already not bad that you have it. You're still being picky over there. Seriously. After saying that, a suction force emerged. 12 hours should be enough. After saying that, the system disappeared. Lin Rei's aura underwent a subtle change. He couldn't describe it, but he felt that it was a little different. In the Xuanzong Sect, when Ying and the others were about to make their move, a bright light suddenly appeared on the quiet mountain. F***CK, that's pretty cool. Looking at the changes on the mountain, everyone's faces turned serious. They activated their ultimate skills and were ready to make a move at any time. "Children, your dearest sect leader, I'm back." A very shameless voice emerged from the front. "Sect leader. Master." At this moment, Ying and the others who heard Lin Rei's voice were stunned on the spot. They were stunned and puzzled. "Sister, did you hear that? It seems to be our husband?" Ice asked Ying in disbelief. "Ming, young master, is back?" "Kagang, is young master back?" Second senior brother, it seems to be master's voice. "Did you hear it?" At this moment, the Xuanzong Sect members were puzzled. They weren't very sure if the voice just now was what they thought it was. Thinking of the information they had on Lin Rei's whereabouts and the Xuanzong Sect disciples who were still investigating the East Sea, they found it hard to believe. "Sect leader is back." Just as everyone was in a daze, a sudden voice sounded. They saw a Xuanzong Sect disciple pointing at the sky above the mountain. Lin Rei's figure appeared in the form of a semi-transparent shadow. He looked down at Ying and the others with a smile on his face. His eyes were full of tenderness. "Young master?" As he spoke, he looked in the direction the disciple was pointing. Suddenly, Lin Rei's figure appeared in front of everyone's eyes. "Young master? Sect leader? Husband?" At this moment, everyone was sure that the voice just now had come from their sect leader, their young master, and their husband. However, they also noticed Lin Rei's current state. Ying was the first to recover. She looked up and said with a longing expression, "Husband, you." At this moment, everyone came back to their senses. That's right, everyone knew Lin Rei's figure. "Sect leader, what happened to you?" After Ying mentioned Lin Rei's state, everyone panicked and had a bad premonition. We'll talk about it later. Time is limited. Let's put it simply. He only had 12 hours. He didn't want to waste time on this nonsense. Everyone stood solemnly and looked at Lin Rei with dignified expressions. At this moment, the entire Xuanzong sect was silent. As you can see, this mountain that suddenly appeared is my gift to all of you. Gift. Looking at the mountain in front of them that was about to kill them, and now hearing the word gift, they had the urge to beat someone up. That's right. This is a good thing. It can help all the disciples of the Xuanzong sect improve their cultivation. Of course, it's only limited to their physical bodies. Everyone didn't speak. They quietly listened to Lin Rei's speech. The body-tempering mountain can be cultivated to the point of immortality. So, children, work hard. This will be the foundation of our Xuanzong sect in the future. Oh right. This thing seems to have started. It can't be stopped. You can only come out if you break through the level you entered. Remember, if you have a playful attitude then, you'll die. A cold light flashed in his eyes as he swept his gaze across the crowd. As for the matter of people dying, naturally, Linley had made it up. He had never experienced such a thing before, and didn't know the rules behind it. The reason why he had said such a thing was to scare them, to make them feel a bit nervous, so that they would be able to complete their body tempering more quickly and with more vigor. However, at this moment, all the disciples' hearts tightened. They were restless and fearful. Ha ha! Suddenly, Linley began to laugh. His laughter was very loud, and he stared off into the distance. Little fool, this is something your master would especially recommend. After a while, I want to see the extent of your body-tempering mountain. If you don't reach the level I want, hee. You know the consequences. Now, your senior sister should have experienced it. I believe you. Will like that feeling very much. Chapter 14:14. Shuang Yuan's body trembled. He was one of the best of the younger generation in the sect, but at this moment, he couldn't even stand properly. Looking at the gentle smile on his master's face, Shuang Yuan knew that the next few days would be tough, tiring and sad. It might even be like what his master said. I will die. Hee, you brat. Shuang Yuan's current appearance amused Lin Rei. He wanted to tease him, but now it seemed that he really scared him. Husband, look at you. You're talking about this the moment you come back. Ying was unhappy. She glanced at Lin Rei and walked towards Shuang Yuan. Xiao, don't listen to your master. He's always like this. You've been with him for so many years. Don't you know his personality? That's right. Shuang Yuan suddenly realized. However, there were no absolutes in this world. Didn't he mention Lin Wanyu before? Master. Shuang Yuan bowed to Lin Rei. You mentioned Lin Wanyu just now. Where is she? Is she okay now? Lin Rei didn't answer Shuang Yuan's question. He waved his hand and an image appeared in front of everyone. A woman in ragged clothes was sitting cross-legged on the ground. She was staring blankly in front of her. In the realm of death, they might be able to see the existence of the formation. However, in the image, they couldn't see through it. After all, Lin Rei's formation skills were at the Saint realm. Master, this... Shuang Yuan panicked when he saw the beautiful woman on the screen. Especially when he saw Lin Wanyu's appearance. He's in the underworld. I've set up countless spell formations there. This is a test and training for her. Husband, you... Don't. I've already decided so. Before Ying could finish, Lin Rei stopped her. Enough. He didn't want to waste time talking nonsense. He waved his hand and the body-tempering mountain appeared in front of all the disciples and elders of the Xuanzong sect. This is the body-tempering mountain. All disciples, seal your cultivation. Start from the very beginning of the body-tempering realm. Cultivate bit by bit. Trust me, this will only help you go further in your cultivation in the future. So, open. He formed a seal with his hands and an ancient talisman flew toward the body-tempering mountain. Boom. Under everyone's gazes, the symbol landed on the mountain. In an instant, a thunderous boom was heard, followed by a light that pierced through the clouds. The body-honing mountain was huge. Although it didn't look like much on the surface, there was nothing special about it. After all, anything created by the system had to be of the highest quality. Looking at the people of the Xuanzong sect below, his expression softened as he said, What I'm giving you now is only the cultivation levels from the body-forging stage to the Mahayana realm. Don't let me down. Swoosh. A black shadow flashed by, and by the time everyone reacted, the black shadow had already disappeared without a trace. Hey, this little girl. The others could say that they didn't see it, but Lin Rei, who appeared in the air as an image, saw it very clearly. Other than Little Four, who else could it be? However, after thinking about it, her brother Lin Xuanyuan's cultivation was getting stronger and stronger, but she was still at the half-step Zun realm. Especially when she saw Lin Wanyu's appearance, although she was scared, she did not regret it. At this moment, in Lin Yuro's heart, all the pain was nothing. All that was left in her heart was power. With power she could have everything. With power she could protect the people she wanted to protect. Lin Rei didn't care about Little Four, because he knew that even if he went, it wouldn't help. In his heart, he had originally wanted Little Four to be a happy, carefree little girl. When she had nothing to do, she would take care of flowers, concoct pills, or train. But in the end, things didn't turn out as Linley had expected. Little Four had worked hard, step by step, from a little beggar to her current position and power. All of this could not escape the result of her own efforts. Forget it. Let him be. Thinking about it, he smiled bitterly and shook his head. His gaze was distant as if saying, "Why aren't you going in yet?" Immediately, I will go in immediately." Looking at his master's urging eyes, Xueyuan felt a wave of bitterness in his heart. He turned around, and with a flash, he disappeared from everyone's sight. That's more like it. Distant disappeared. In the end, the remaining disciples did not escape from Lin Rei's demonic barrier. Ka Luan, Lin Xianyuan, Chen Guang were all sent in. In the end, Lin Rei did not care about them. However, the remaining disciples did not listen to Linley's urging. They all went to their designated places to train in the body-tempering mountain. Bing's gaze was fixed on the body-tempering mountain. After all, he also needed power. "Sister, why don't we?" "Sister, what you think is exactly what I think." The two of them smiled at each other and walked into the mountain. Lin Rei, who was high up in the sky, did not react in time. By the time he tried to stop them, it was already too late. He bent down and looked at the empty Xian sect. His heart felt like it was about to explode. "Are you serious? I still wanted to chat with the two of you." "You?" Looking at the entrance of the mountain, Lin Rei smiled bitterly. He did not expect the ending to be like this. However, it was not bad. After all, they all had their own goals. This was good. Forget it. You guys work hard. I can't fall behind. System, in my current state, can I adjust or improve the sex array? Ding. Yes. That's great. Lin Rei was overjoyed. He was just asking casually. He did not expect it to actually work. But, WC, you can't be serious. The smile on his face collapsed in an instant. Yeah, how could I be so stupid to believe that the system would let me do this for free? He looked up at the Xuanzong sect and said firmly, "Tell me, how many exchange points?" System. Lin Rei looked like he wanted to rip it off. He was really asking for a beating. 100 years of life in exchange for the system to improve the sex array by 1 level. Life. 100 years? You sure it's 100 years and not 1,000,000 years? Lin Rei thought he heard wrong. After all, at his level, not to mention 100 years, even 1,000,000 years was something he could get at any time. Why, 100 years is not enough. If that's the case, 1,000,000 years it is. After all, the system respects the host's choice. Then forget about it. Lin Rei waved his hand. Since the system had already decided, there was no need to say anything else. Otherwise, even he would not be able to take 1,000,000 years. The system completely ignored Linley's actions. Ding. Do you want to draw 100 years of life to improve the sex array? Chapter 14-15. Yes. Needless to say, Lin Rei would not let go of this rare opportunity when the system showed mercy. Moreover, he was using this method to upgrade the sex formation. It was considered heaven-defying. Of course, the most important thing was that he could not stay in this state for too long. Soon, he would disappear and return to the Letian secret realm. When that time came, he would not know how long it would be before he returned. Time passed slowly. As the system extracted 100 years of Lin Rei's lifespan, the entire Xuanzong sect was shrouded in a fog. At this moment, the Xuanzong sect's protective formation began to be upgraded. He retracted his consciousness from the Xuanzong sect and looked at the body-tempering mountain. A gentle look flashed across his eyes. I came in a hurry and did not have time to catch up with you before you entered. I don't know how long it will be before we meet again. I hope that by that time, your cultivation will have reached a level where you can protect yourselves. Although he did not know why, ever since he returned to the Holy World and returned to the Xuanzong sect, an inexplicable fear rushed out from his heart. If it was a blessing, it would not be a disaster. If it was a disaster, he could not avoid it. Although he did not know where the fear in his heart came from, he would increase his cultivation even faster. He hoped that he could return to the Holy World and return to his family and friends before the danger came. He wanted to protect the sect with his own body. Ding! Just when Lin Rei was worrying about the people of the Xuanzong sect, the system's notifications sounded in his mind. Hey, is it time? 24 hours were very fulfilling for mortals. However, for cultivators like him, it was just a fleeting moment. 24 hours have passed. It's time to go back. The system's voice sounded. Go back. To be honest, when he returned to the Xuanzong sect and saw the people of the Xuanzong sect, his wife, and the subordinates who had fought with him, he did not want to return to the Netherworld anymore. In the Netherworld, in the Letian secret realm, there were dangers everywhere. Even if he was an Earth Sage, he did not dare to say that he could definitely return, especially when he had only caused trouble in the first level of the secret realm. Go back. After saying that, before Lin Rei could react, the illusory figure in the air slowly faded until it disappeared without a trace. In the Netherworld, the secluded valley, the Dragon Spring secret realm, and the Letian secret realm, Lin Rei regained consciousness. His closed eyes slowly opened. When he saw everything before him that he was not familiar with, he sighed faintly. Alas! His fighting spirit exploded at this moment. In order to stay by his wife and children's side for a long time, he needed to have enough power to shake everything. Indeed, the system's words were very reasonable. But he didn't believe that with his combat strength, it was impossible that he wouldn't even have a chance to escape. Of course, even if he couldn't win, he still had the system. As long as he hid in the system when danger came, everything would be fine. It seemed that the system knew what Lin Rei was thinking. According to the theory that the system just found out, it is impossible to enter the system space in the life realm. In the land of life, there are always powerful arrays and magical artifacts that seal the space. So, no way? Lin Rei, who was still rejoicing a moment ago, heard the system's words, and his face fell. Causing trouble, it was definitely causing trouble. If he couldn't do that, then after entering, he would definitely be lying dead. The system didn't seem to want to explain. So, take the chaotic dragon spear. At least, there is still a small chance to escape. What do you think? Although the system reminded him, in the end, Lin Rei still didn't listen to the system. The chaotic dragon spear was in the White Jade Tower, and Lin Rei was in the Eye of the Burning Sky array with the White Jade. He turned around and left the Burning Sky array, and came to the entrance to the second floor of the Life Realm. Looking at the dark entrance without a trace of light, a chill rose from his feet and spread to the top of his head. Little dragon, your spirit in heaven must bless me. He put his hands together and bowed to the sky. System, let me remind you that the little dragon isn't dead yet. As long as we find a treasure that can restore the power of the little dragon, it is still possible for it to wake up and even completely recover. If you say that, doesn't your heart hurt? Chapter 14:16. Cough that. Little dragon. Shouldn't mind. I'm right. After comforting himself, Lin Rei did not say anything more to the system. His gaze locked onto the entrance to the second level. He took a deep breath, gritted his teeth, stomped his foot and charged in. Ha! A puny Earth Sage dares to enter the second level of Life Realm. It seems that a new soul will appear in the second level soon. Humph. Nonsense. Do you really think that the second level is the same as here? That any trash can become a soul? That's all you have. Why don't you think about how you ended up in this state? Voices rang out. 6 figures appeared in the air at the spot where Lin Ray disappeared. There were 5 men and 1 woman. On the surface, all of them were handsome men and beautiful women. This was especially so for the woman. She was an existence that could only be admired from afar. Looking at the 3 people, the woman's eyes were filled with disdain as if she looked down on them. "Shut up, everyone." Disregarding everything else, the moment the woman spoke, the space suddenly fell silent. Even the air around her seemed to have stopped moving. "What do you know?" Looking at them, she said coldly, "That brat just now is not simple." "What do you mean?" The person who had not spoken until now spoke. His gaze was fixed on the woman as if he wanted to seek an answer. The man's actions were the same as the other's thoughts. At that moment, the woman became the focus of everyone's attention. Hongming's sovereign constitution. This constitution hasn't appeared for a long time. I didn't expect to see it in this god-forsaken place. Hongming's sovereign constitution. The 5 people were dumbfounded by the woman's words, as if they did not understand what she meant. Haha, the later generations have actually ended up in this state. Looking at the 5 people, a hint of pity flashed in her eyes. Hongming's sovereign constitution is a constitution that seizes the good fortune of the world. Looking at the 5 people, the woman explained. Perhaps because she had stayed here for too long, she had to talk to these people and chat with them. At that moment, the 5 people were like elementary school children. They listened obediently and quietly. Hongming's sovereign constitution is an extremely terrifying and powerful existence. What is the most powerful constitution of your later generations? I know, the red-robed man hurriedly said. In my impression, the strongest physique is the Great Tao physique. It's a type of physique that's almost close to the Great Tao. From birth, they're favored by the heavens and earth. Their cultivation results are twice as fast with half the effort. Even their comprehension of the Tao and Dharma is 100 times better than the top geniuses. Great Tao physique? Hee. I didn't expect that the later generations would be so desolate. Even that trash physique could become the strongest physique. The woman clearly didn't expect the desolation of the later generations. Everyone. Hearing the woman's words, the crowd felt helpless. Although they didn't know who the woman was, they knew very well that the woman's strength far surpassed theirs. It was so much so that even if the 5 of them joined forces, they might not necessarily be able to defeat her. They didn't respond, not because they didn't want to, but because they didn't know how to respond to the woman's words. At this moment, the 5 of them admitted that they had fallen behind. The actions of the 5 people made the woman unable to continue mocking them. She then turned her attention to Lin Ray. The great Tao physiques you know of are weak to the extreme in my generation. As for the Hongmeng Paragon physique in my generation, it was the number 1, and perhaps even the most powerful. When the Paragon physique appears, Hongmeng appears. When Hongmeng appears, the world moves. As long as the Hongmeng Paragon physique appeared, the entire cultivation world would fall into a frenzy of war, for no other reason than to obtain the Hongmeng Paragon physique. Why? Is this physique really as powerful as you say? If that's the case, why haven't we heard of it before? Even some ancient books didn't mention it at all? Yes. The crowd nodded. In response to the crowd's questions, the woman shook her head. I'm not sure. However, in my generation it was indeed so. I've long known that in the Hongmeng Paragon physique, it's very easy to cultivate the 3,000 Great Tao to perfection. Of course, this can only be done after it's activated. In addition to cultivating the 3,000 Great Tao, the Paragon physique can also see the past, present, and future, and even time itself. Even the cultivation techniques are associated with the Paragon physique. Hiss. Then. No. The woman shook her head. Although that kid's physique is powerful, I can feel that he hasn't started yet. Perhaps it can be said that he hasn't really activated it yet. However, in the district, you've already activated it a little. At the very least, it's enough for you to cultivate some Great Tao. Yes, corresponding to your current cultivation realm, you should be able to cultivate to the immortal realm. As for the later realms, you'll need to activate the Hongmeng Paragon physique again before you can continue cultivating. And this is the drawback of the Hongmeng Paragon physique. It requires too many heavenly treasures to activate it. That kid just now can be considered a genius for being able to activate it. As for the later realms, I'm afraid that it will require more than 100 times more power than before to activate it. Although this explanation didn't specify how powerful the Hongmeng Paragon physique was, in their hearts, Lin Rei's physique was already on their minds. If Ruo Linlei was here, he would be so shocked that his jaw would drop. One must know that in order to cultivate the power of law, he had suffered a lot. Put away your unrealistic thoughts. A cold light flashed in her eyes and she warned, the blood of the Hongmeng Paragon physique is very powerful. Just a little bit of it can destroy you. If you want to leave this damned place, the only thing you can rely on is that young man just now. Everyone. In the face of the woman's mockery and warning, everyone was speechless. They were already cursing her in their hearts. In the pitch-black space, Lin Rei appeared. He released his divine sense, as if to check his surroundings. However, he was disappointed. Apart from the pitch-black darkness, there was only darkness and endless cold. Hiss. No way, even with my physique, I can feel the cold. What the hell is this place? Feeling the bone-piercing cold wind around him, Lin Rei thought that he was hallucinating. However, that was the truth. Troublemaker, who the hell doesn't want this? Ask him to come out. I promise I won't kill him. Although he was venting, his body was telling the truth. He took a step forward and walked forward. He originally wanted to enter the second level, but there was no prompt from the system. This meant that he was still in the space crack between the first and second levels. Oh woo! Just as Lin Rei was walking in the darkness, a shocking roar emerged from all directions and rushed into Lin Rei's ears. Damn, what the hell is going on? He looked around and his body tensed up, as if he was ready to fight. Host, be careful. Judging from the sound just now should be the roar of the Kaming beast. Chapter 14:17. Lin Rei was stunned and confused. He was familiar with the name Kaming Beast. When he was still immortal, he was on planet Aqua Blue. However, those memories were so long ago that they were a little blurry now. Kaming Beast. Kaming beasts are a kind of self-proclaimed divine lord. They are so powerful, especially the Kaming beasts. They are disdainful of their own kind, as if they feel ashamed to be their own kind. Because of this, their race does not ally with other races. Therefore, there are very few Kaming beasts left. They are almost extinct. As it spoke, the system did not understand. Why would this almost extinct race of beasts be here? Then, Lin Rei was worried. He did not have a suitable weapon now. More importantly, the system's evaluation of the Kaming beasts was too high. Seeing Lin Rei's hesitation, the system continued, Kaming beasts usually will not attack you. Why? Lin Rei did not understand. The system does not need to say more about the host's strength. The Kaming beasts call themselves divine lords, so they are naturally proud and arrogant. They are not interested in you, a human with such low cultivation. Lin Rei. At this moment, Lin Li finally understood what the system was trying to say. So after all this time, the system was looking down on his level of power. He rolled his eyes and almost fainted. System, will you die if you don't talk like that? Ding. Corrected one thing. Lin Rei. The system has no signs of life, so there is no question of whether it is dead or alive. At most, the system will shut down because there is no energy, so next time, don't ask such a stupid question. It will lower your IQ and also lower the system's ability to choose a host. Thank you. The system's words left Lin Li completely speechless. He had nothing to say. What else could he say? That motherfucking cur had completely shut him up. Oh well. A beast's roar suddenly interrupted Lin Rei's conversation with the system. At this moment, Lin Rei was stunned. Judging from the sound, the Kaming beast seemed to be slowly approaching. The carefree look in his eyes disappeared and was replaced with vigilance. He looked in the direction of the beast roar and tensed up. His body was in a combat state, ready to fight at any time. Impossible. The Kaming beast wouldn't want to kill you. The system was puzzled. Based on its understanding of Kaming beasts, they would never lower themselves. But, after scanning the area, there were indeed a few Kaming beasts rushing towards Lin Rei. Can you explain? Lin Rei didn't care about the system's error. When his life was in danger, Everything was no longer a problem. The system hesitated. It could not give a reasonable explanation. After all, this was the truth. Get out of here. Get out of here as fast as you can. That's the only way. All right, hurry up and rush to the second floor. It will be much better to enter the second floor. Hearing this, Lin Rei vomited immediately. But without hesitation, he turned around and rushed away as fast as he could. Although he didn't know what was in front of him, it was much safer than staying where he was. Oh well. Just as Lin Rei left, 6 huge creatures appeared. There were 9 heads and each had a human face. Although they weren't good-looking, the aura they emitted was suffocating. Rua Lin would be shocked if he felt the aura from the Caming Beast. Gradually, this aura was not something he could resist. Big brother, what's going on? I felt the presence of a stranger just now. Why is he gone now? Yes, big brother. Although the stranger just now was not strong, he must not be simple to be able to make us feel his presence. No. The other Caming Beast hurriedly shook its head, as if it understood very well. Although the person just now is young and his cultivation is not strong, have you ever thought that this is the only path to the second floor? Why do you think he came here? Perhaps, you've been here for so many years that you've forgotten? You mean? Beast, who had been following at the back, seemed to have thought of something. For a long time. Sure. Seeing that his companion was about to speak, the Caming Beast who was called Big Brother hurriedly stopped him. You can't say it. If that old fellow knows that you are talking about it like this, in the end, not only will you be the unlucky one, you will also implicate us. At that time, the gains will not make up for the losses, and it will be too late. Everyone. Indeed, when faced with the beautiful figure in their minds, their huge bodies involuntarily trembled, and their faces were filled with helplessness. I didn't expect that so many people would be alarmed this time. You, cough. Host, you have to be careful. This place is different from other places. You have to be cautious, and cautious, otherwise. Lin Rei did not know. If he knew, he would definitely understand that the beautiful figure that appeared in the Caming Beast's mind was none other than the Death Realm soul that appeared after Lin Rei left the first floor. When the Supreme Body appears, Hongmeng appears. When Hongmeng appears, the world will be shaken. As long as the Supreme Body of Hongmeng appears, the entire cultivation world will be plunged into a frenzy of war, for no other reason than to obtain the Supreme Body of Hongmeng. Why? Is this body really as powerful as you said? If that's the case, why have we never heard of it before? Even some ancient books did not mention it at all? Yes. Everyone nodded. In response to everyone's questions, the woman shook her head. I'm not sure. However, in my generation it was indeed so. In the Supreme Body of Hongmeng, it's very easy to cultivate the 3,000 Great Tao to perfection. Of course, this can only be done after the opening. Other than that, the Supreme Body of Hongmeng can also see the past, present, and future, and even time itself. Even the cultivation techniques are associated with the Supreme Body of Hongmeng. As the main character, Lin Rei was very miserable at this moment. He was speeding all the way, and finally, under the system's reminder, he stopped. As for the situation behind him, he did not care about it. As for the other things, they were even more unimportant. System, where is the exit? I finally found this place. It seems to be an endless loop, and it's difficult to get in and out. Oh woo. Host, I think you have. System, this is. He understood that the voice came from the Caming Beast's mouth, but his heart still had a trace of trepidation. No. It seemed like. Host, quickly leave this place. If you don't want to live, of course, you can also stay here. The system could be said to be constantly criticizing Lin Rei. Regarding this, Lin Rei helplessly shook his head and ignored it. Now that his life was at stake, how could he pay attention to the system's words? What a joke. He really had to leave here. Chapter 14:18. Time passed quickly while Lin Rei was on the run. After an unknown amount of time, the system finally rang out again. This time, he could finally relax. Don't worry. The Caming Beast is still chasing after us. We can rest for a while and think about what to do next. Lin Li fell into deep thought. The system's words forced Linley to reflect on himself. Previously, if he had listened to the system's advice, perhaps he wouldn't be in such a sorry state now. But then again, there were benefits to doing so. With Lin Rei's current state, he had two choices if he wanted to level up. First, he needed a huge amount of energy to devour. Because the chaotic heaven scroll did not have any barriers to cultivation and there was no heavenly tribulation, he needed energy to level up. It was easy but also difficult. Second, he could struggle on the edge of life and death. Only then could he quickly improve his knowledge and his body's quality and his physique. Given the two choices, Lin Rei was even more speechless. He was very clear about the two choices. At the same time, he also knew that in his current state, he was hovering on the edge of life and death. As for the difficulty, in this situation, nothing else mattered. Ding! Notification. An unknown object is approaching the host quickly. Host, do you want to check it out? Damn it, what's going on? He had just sat down to cultivate when he heard the notification. He jumped up and looked in the direction of the notification. At the same time, he released his divine sense, as if he wanted to check the other party's presence. However, the current world was very cruel. In the face of divine sense, the end result was nothing. Why? As if it knew what Lin Rei was going to say, the system did not give him any face and directly retorted. Don't waste your energy. It seemed to have predicted Lin Rei's words. Only a seamless connection? The person who is coming is either stronger than you, so strong that you can't sense it. Or, the other party has a treasure that can block your divine sense. However, the system still advises the host to put down his unrealistic fantasies and face reality. The other party's cultivation is too strong for you to fight against. So, a sound broke through the air. In the blink of an eye, a red-robed man reeking of blood appeared. System, scan the person in front of me. Ding. Okay. Ding. System beginning scan. Please wait. Time passed. Finally, a screen appeared in front of Lin Rei. What? Lin Rei let out a cry of surprise. As for the people around him, Lin Rei didn't pay any attention to them. His eyes were filled with shock. On the screen, Xueqi was a member of the Azura race. The Azura race. Linley couldn't be more familiar with this name. What the hell? Was this a joke? The Azura tribe had been founded by Elder Styx, and the most important thing was why there were still Azuras here. When he had first obtained Blood One and the others, the results he had learned were completely different from what he had learned now. After obtaining Xueqi and the others, Lin Rei learned that they were the only remaining members of the Azura race. But now, the Azura race had reappeared here. This made Lin Rei somewhat unable to react. Or rather, it could be said that this had completely exceeded the scope of his imagination. If there was a Kaming beast here, he would have tolerated it. However, why would the Shura clan, such a mysterious and powerful race, be here? Moreover, according to the system, the Shura clan here was very powerful, so powerful that even he was no match for them. This was completely beyond the scope of his current control. This was something he had to think about. Originally, he only wanted to enter the second layer of the life realm. But now, instead of entering the life realm, he was stuck in the spatial crack between the first layer and the second layer of the fog. This made him feel extremely disgusted. When he came back to his senses and looked at the man in front of him, Lin Rei felt as if he had returned to the time when he was weak. He felt as if he had returned to the time when he hadn't obtained the system. When he was trampled on, bullied, and at the mercy of others, he had been too weak. Who was it? Who dared to hurt him? When he looked up, he saw a fat man with a big head and big ears. It's you? You hurt him? When Lin Rei saw the fat man, he already recognized him. It was Lin Ergu, who had killed his predecessor with one slap. Oh, isn't this our great genius, young master? You're not dead yet. Heh. When Lin Rei heard Lin Ergu's words, the corners of his mouth naturally curled up. He revealed an expression as if he was looking at an idiot. But from the beginning to the end, Lin Rei's eyes revealed a callous and ice-cold look. Lin Ergu had originally wanted to tease and humiliate Linley, but when he saw the look in Linley's eyes, Lin Ergu couldn't help but take a step back. What's going on? When did this brat's gaze become so terrifying? Also, his temperament has changed. It's only been a few days since we last met. But when he saw Linley's level of power, that foot, which had been forced to take a step backwards in fright, came back to him. Humph. Little bastard, it seems like the lesson I taught you a few days ago was in vain. Since that's the case, I'll let you know my rules today. Come, beat me up. After hearing Lin Ergu's words, the people who had followed him in rushed up and threw a punch at Lin Ray, who was lying on the bed. Humph. A group of dogs who don't care about their lives. I think you've forgotten the family's rules. You're just insignificant servants, yet you dare to offend your superiors. Don't tell me you don't want to live anymore? Do you really think that I, the second young master of the family, am someone you can beat up whenever you want? Right now, Lin Ray's mood was the same as when he was bullied by a small ant. Facing these people who didn't even fight back, he felt like he had returned to the time when he was bullied in the Lin family. Humph. Lin Ray, stop pretending. Who in the entire Lin province doesn't know that you're just a concubine's son? The most important thing is that when you were born, the head of the family found someone to test your talent. In the end, the result was that you didn't have the qualifications to cultivate. The head of the family has long since given up on you. Now you want to use your status to suppress me? Do you think that's possible? Looking at the man, Lin Ray increasingly felt that his current strength was too weak. It was the same as when he had first met Lin Ergu. He hoped that he didn't have any power that he could use. In front of this brain, he was like a child who couldn't fight back. Right now, the only thing Lin Ray could do was to compromise and think of a way to survive. As the saying goes, a real man should know when to yield and when to stand tall. He didn't care what others thought of him. He only cared about whether he could survive because he still had to protect his family, wife, children, and the entire Xuanzong sect. Who are you? Chapter 14:19. Azura tribe? Although he knew who Xuemao was, he was not stupid enough to say it out loud. At this moment, Lin Ray was acting like an award-winning actor. He looked at Xuemao cautiously and suspiciously, as if saying, I don't know you, don't come over. It had to be said that Xuemao was a little cruel. He was the one who asked first, but now he was the one who took the initiative. You a human? Impossible. How could there be a human in this place? And Xuemao looked at Lin Ray with disdain. This guy. How could Lin Ray not know what Xuemao meant? However, Lin Ray did not say anything. He waited quietly for Xuemao's reply. Tell me, why are you here? And judging by your cultivation, you shouldn't be able to come here. With a whoosh, Xuemao's body flashed and disappeared from the spot at a speed that Lin Ray could not see. Tell me, who are you? Do you know that you have violated the territory of the Azura tribe? Xuemao reached out and grabbed Lin Ray by the neck with a force that Lin Ray could not resist. Xuemao lifted Lin Ray up. Cough cough. A terrifying amount of energy flowed from Linley's neck into his entire body. In the instant that he was restrained, Linley could sense that his cultivation base and his interspatial ring had all been sealed away. He no longer obeyed his master's will at all. This happened too quickly. Lin Ray did not have time to react before he lost the ability to fight back. He was like a dog that was being toyed around with. Linley was very unhappy about this. The Kaming tribe? Just as Xuemao subdued Lin Ray, a few powerful auras rushed over. Xuemao was very familiar with these auras and hated them. You bastard. Speaking of which, in this place, the clan that he did not want to encounter the most was the Kaming Beast clan. Although his status was a top-notch existence, the other party was not inferior, either. They had all survived from the same era. Moreover, the other party cultivated the Tao of Slaughter, which was the same as his clan. If they were to really fight, it was still unknown who would emerge victorious. More importantly, at this moment, he was only one person, while the other party had at least 5 people. This kind of gap was not something that could be made up for by strength. He lowered his head and looked at Lin Ray. He could sense that the Kaming beasts had come for this guy, and he just happened to be the scapegoat, or perhaps a helper. Cough cough. If Xuemao could feel it, so could Lin Ray. In response, Lin Ray sneered. What do you think? In the ancient era, your Azura clan was in charge of the Azura realm and the Netherworld's Blood Sea. Now, facing the Kaming beast, are you going to fight or not, or The ancient era has passed, and your Azura clan is just struggling at death's door. Have you cowered? Have you lost your courage? There was a wolf in front and a tiger behind. Now, he could only provoke Xueqi to fight against the Caming Beast. Even if he ended up in the Azura clan's hands, with the 36 Azura clan elders in his hands as a bargaining chip, he believed that the other party would not do anything excessive to him. In fact, he might even learn about this place and everything about the second layer of Life Realm from the other party. Although he did not want to, he had no choice. In this place, they were enemies with the Caming Beast. If the other party saw him alone outside, there was no need to think about what would happen in the end. Moreover, there was a human here. This made them even more crazy. Just you wait. Once it's safe, I'll kill you. With that, he waved his hand and threw Lin Rei to the side. A blood-red barrier enveloped him. Huff huff. After escaping from Xueqi's control, Lin Rei let out a long sigh of relief. His flushed face recovered quite a bit. Whoosh whoosh. A few sounds came from the distance. Xueqi and Lin Rei looked into the distance with serious gazes. They saw a few beasts rushing over from the distance. In the end, they landed not far away from Lin Rei and Xueqi. Oh! Xueqi. The leader of the Caming Beasts spoke in human language. When he looked at Xueqi, there was a hint of surprise in his eyes. Zhu, you have violated the agreement. This is the territory of the Azura clan. Are you trying to start a war between the two clans? Lin Rei. This guy. Lin Rei felt helpless against Xueqi. As a member of the Azura clan, did he have to be so slow? As the old saying goes, if you can fight, don't force it. What the hell are you doing? Fight. Xueqi did not know what Lin Rei was thinking. The Caming Beasts were even more confused. At this moment, both sides were confronting each other. They seemed to be coveting what Xueqi said. Boss, I think we should save the two of them here. With our advantage in numbers, even if we kill him, I believe the Azura clan will not be able to find any evidence. They will not do anything to us. That's right, boss. Let's kill him. This Xueqi has inherited most of Mingi's memories. Maybe we can get Mingi's blood god extinction from him. Yes, I agree. Zhu, who was still hesitating, heard his companion's words. For a moment, his hesitation was stirred. Boss, let's do it. If we don't do it and they know that we are here, there will only be one result. Everyone looked at each other and nodded. All right, if that's the case then. Let's do it. Since they had decided, they did not leave. They raised their front paws and slapped at Xueqi. Boom boom. They were all sages above Tendo. It was normal for them to cause a phenomenon when they fought. Streaks of lightning flashed in the dark clouds. The thunder exploded in everyone's ears. Fortunately, there were no low-level cultivators here. Otherwise... Bastard! In front of Lin Rei, he used his body to block Lin Rei. Bang! A muffled sound rang out, and a figure was sent flying. As for the Caming Beast that attacked, it didn't have a good time either. Its whole body trembled, but it was normal for it to retreat. There was even a trace of blood at the corner of its mouth, which was very eye-catching. Bastard, your cultivation. The Caming Beasts could not believe that it was true. He was defeated in one move. Moreover, the things he ordered just now were a bit expensive. In a moment, hurry up and run. Run as far as you can. Xueqi's voice appeared in his mind. However, his tone was a bit strange. Seeing Xueqi's you-know-what-I-mean expression, Linley was dumbfounded. How the hell was he supposed to know? But he knew how to run. Especially when it came to running by himself, leisurely and quietly. The blood-red energy barrier that trapped Lin Rei disappeared the moment Xueqi asked Lin Rei to leave. In response, Lin Rei, who had regained his freedom, rushed in a direction. Humph, want to run? Do you think you can run? Fantasy zone, open. No one would have thought that the mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. Just when Lin Rei was about to escape, a Caming Beast appeared out of nowhere. A beam of light rushed out from its mouth and rushed into Lin Rei's body. Everything happened. However, at this moment, a mysterious force was born in his body. Finally, Lin Rei's body went soft and he lay on the ground. Little dragon, what you said at that time was indeed a lie. However, this is also good. If you don't remember me, then so be it. Now that things have come to this, there is nothing left to worry about. Lin Rei walked out of the cave and muttered to himself. His eyes were empty and lifeless. Looking up at the sky, Lin Rei felt as if he had lost something in his heart. In the cold night wind, Lin Li stood there in his thin clothes, allowing the cold wind to blow against him. That head of silver hair of his was very dazzling. Why do I feel so sad? At this moment, looking at Lin Rei walking out as if he had lost his soul, Red Lotus's heart clenched. She had never experienced such a feeling before. Could it be? Could it be that I really lost my memory and something happened between me and this kid? After feeling this, Red Lotus recalled what Lin Rei had said before. For a moment, she was puzzled. However, no matter how she thought about it, she could not remember what had happened. In the end, she simply chose to forget about it. Just as Red Lotus and Lin Rei were in a dilemma, Elder Xiong, who had left, returned with a person. This person had a dignified aura that made people feel stifled. Junior brother, is this the place where you said there was an Earth Immortal Realm cultivator? At this moment, the person who was brought back by Elder Xiong looked at the black forest in front of him with eyes full of disbelief. Senior brother Sect leader, there is no mistake. At that time, the aura was very strong. Even you did not have such an aura. Moreover, I could feel that it was the aura of someone who had just awakened. However, what I don't understand is how someone on this sealed planet could break through to the Earth Immortal Realm. This does not make sense. The sect leader that Elder Xiong referred to was Zhao Pan of the Kunlun sect, who was also Lin Rei's greatest enemy. Yes, this is also what I am puzzled about. When the revered one sent us here, he did not have the ability to let us out. Furthermore, he observed that on this planet, at most, one could cultivate until the peak of the Mahayana realm. It would be impossible to break through until the end of one's life. Therefore, after hearing your report, I was also very surprised. Yes, not bad. Soon, these formations will all be broken. Then, all the secrets will be revealed. Elder Xiong looked at the progress of breaking the formations, then turned to Zhao Pan and said, I hope so. I hope it's not an enemy. Otherwise, after hearing his junior brother's words, Zhao Pan's face turned solemn as he looked at the black forest. It wasn't just Lin Rei and Zhao Pan. As soon as the news of the resurrection of the Red Lotus Empress in the Red Lotus Empire spread out, all the cultivators in the profound sky continent were mobilized to search for the revived Red Lotus. The world was in chaos and the people had no way of making a living. Some cultivators even attacked mortals in order to find Red Lotus's whereabouts. As for the culprit behind all of this, Red Lotus, when she thought of the conditions Lin Li had agreed to, she was momentarily stunned. Bring me out of this sealed planet? Could it be? At this thought, Red Lotus couldn't remain calm anymore. Her originally cold expression turned blazing. She gazed at Lin Rei, who was at the entrance of the cave, and darted to Lin Rei's side. She grabbed Lin Rei's arm and said agitatedly, You, can you really bring me out of this planet? You're not lying to me? At this moment, Red Lotus was like a little girl who wanted to get an answer. The eagerness in her eyes made one have the urge to go up and confide in her. That's right. This is what I promised you, and it's also what I owe you. This is the final compensation. I don't want to say anything else. If you don't want to, I'll use other methods to compensate you. Cultivation methods, pills, formations, martial skills, whatever you want, I'll give you. However, after this matter, we'll completely break up, and we won't have any more interactions in the future. Looking at Red Lotus, Lin Rei said everything that needed to be said. Then, he slapped Red Lotus's hand away, turned around, and walked toward the elves. Red Lotus was stunned and her eyes were filled with disbelief. Can we really leave? Red Lotus was very excited. When she was alive, she had fantasized many times about being able to leave this planet that restricted her. Chapter 14:20. Lin Rei was speechless. Lin Li was silent. He didn't say anything. His starry eyes stared into the distance, as though he was thinking about something. Go back. This is not a place where you should be. You have your mission. You can't stay here forever. Seeing that Lin Rei was silent, the system did not stop and continued to persuade him. Now, the Caming Beast clan had appeared. Even the extinct Shura clan had appeared. Who knew what would happen next? Although he was confident that he could protect his host, this was not what he wanted. It was not what he should do. Do I have to do this? Suddenly, Lin Rei spoke. His eyes were filled with unwillingness. He did not want to give up. But now, the choice was placed in front of him. He had no choice but to give up. No matter which choice he chose, he needed to be strong. Yes. The decision is up to you. But I have to remind you that we have not reached the second level yet. If we are talking about the exchange points, no one knows what will happen next. We don't even know how much we will have to spend. Do what you can. Don't try to be brave. You have to understand where you stand. Don't be ignorant of reality. Boom. The system's words were like a heavy hammer hitting Lin Rei's heart. Indeed, during this period of time, he was not aware of reality. He thought that he could pass through, but he did not expect that he would almost die on the first level. Now, on the second level, he could not even fight back against Xue Mao of the Shura clan, a heaven saint. This was a serious blow to his self-esteem. Moreover, the most important thing was what the system had said. He had to complete the mission that he was supposed to complete, and not waste his time here. Time passed bit by bit. The illusions continued, but the images began to change, to the point where Linley found it somewhat unbearable. It was no longer a memory of the past. It was a massacre. The entire Xuanzong sect. All the disciples, family members, wives, children, old and young were being slaughtered in front of him. He could not do anything about it. Ah! Bastards, stop it! Roars, pain, unwillingness, anger. At this moment, complex emotions surged into his heart. How could he bear it? As someone who was determined to protect his family and friends, watching them get slaughtered was a kind of torture and pain. This is the price. You won't be able to increase your strength. In this situation, you won't be able to fight back. Will you just watch those people slaughter the Xuanzong sect and do nothing? Don't worry, you'll come back here. It's just a matter of time. His eyes, which were originally filled with rage and bloodthirst, regained their clarity and color. He looked up at the sky, closed his eyes, and sighed deeply. He nodded and said, "Let's do it. You're right. It's time to go back." Actually, I should have gone back a long time ago, but I wanted to find the bloodline grass for Little Tiger, so I didn't go back. Hee hee, this will be the best decision you've ever made. Lin Rei replied. The system laughed. Relax. It's exactly the same. Aya will take over your body. Look clearly, what is the suppression of absolute strength? What is the absolute powerhouse? Lin Rei understood what the system meant. His body relaxed, and a wave of energy entered his body. In an instant, the control of his body no longer belonged to him. He had encountered such a situation before, so he wasn't too surprised or frightened by it. Boom! Just as the system took over his body, a wave of terrifying energy emerged. A wave of purple energy began to flow through all the major meridians in his body. Slowly, his entire body transformed into that sort of power, a power that caused Linley's heart to tremble. At first, just a tiny bit of it caused Linley to sigh at his inferiority. Is this the absolute strength that the system mentioned? It's really powerful. With a sigh, he fixed his gaze in front of him. Although his body had lost control, his soul could still see everything. Move, Lin Rei, who was controlled by the system, moved. He raised his hand, and a wave of purple energy appeared. He waved it towards the space in front of him. Whoosh! A sword ray left Lin Rei's hand and disappeared as fast as lightning. Finally, it fell on the barrier of the fantasy zone in the distance. Bang! A resonating sound was heard. Rumble! In the outside world, the Caming Beasts, who were fighting fiercely with Xue Mao, heard the resonating sound and the vibration of the space under their feet. For a moment, everyone stopped fighting and looked in the direction of Lin Rei. Looking in that direction, Xue Mao's eyes flashed. He remembered clearly that that place was the direction Lin Rei had left. Impossible! The Caming Beast, who was fighting against Xue Mao, seemed to have noticed something. His face turned pale instantly, and he looked in the distance with disbelief. What's wrong? From their point of view, he knew how powerful C's fantasy zone was. He didn't expect that C's fantasy zone would be broken. C, what are you doing? Fourth brother, what's wrong with you? For a moment, all the gaming beasts started to ask C. They didn't understand why the fearless C was acting so strange today. C didn't seem to hear their questions. His eyes were filled with fear as he muttered, "Impossible. The fantasy zone can't be broken. It's impossible. How is it possible? How can a person with only the cultivation of an earth sage do it?" Although he could sense it, he still couldn't believe that his fantasy zone was broken. After he had cultivated the system's fantasy zone, no one could break it, including himself. This trick was unsolvable. Ha! You're too naive. Just when everyone was thinking otherwise, a clear voice came from behind them. Hiss! They had all heard this voice before. It was very familiar, especially C from the gaming beast. How? C trembled when he heard this voice. He turned around excitedly. The moment he turned around, he saw Lin Ray, who was standing proudly in the air not far away. Thump, thump, thump. His huge body couldn't help but take a few steps back. His eyes were filled with fear. It's broken. He really broke the fantasy zone. But how is this possible? How can you break the fantasy zone? Why are you unharmed? Why are you? Shut up. Before he could say anything, Lin Ray scolded him. C immediately shut his mouth and looked at him in horror. It was as if none of this was supposed to happen. At this moment, not only C, but everyone's eyes were focused on Lin Ray. They couldn't believe it, just like C. Facing everyone's expressions, Lin Ray didn't explain too much. The system was too lazy to explain. It fixed its eyes on C and narrowed them. A murderous aura flashed across its eyes. I'll give you two choices. First, become my mount. I'll give you supreme glory in the future. 2, die right now. Not only you, but they will also die. Oh, that's right. I forgot to tell you. The secretaries of your clan are of no use to me. As long as I am willing, all of you can forget about reincarnating or borrowing my body to be reborn. The moment you were killed by me, your lives were cut off. So, what's your choice? Gaming beast, Xueqi. Although they didn't understand how Linley had managed to break through the illusory field, to have them become someone else's mount or subordinate was worse than death. What's more, you're just a human. How did you know about the gaming beast clan? Moreover, you. Swoosh. Bam. Before Zhu Tian could finish his words, a ray of light rushed out from Lin Rei's hand and appeared in front of Zhu Tian in an instant, crushing him. Plop. Zhu Tian's body was sent flying. 1,000 meters away, Zhu Tian fell to the ground in a sorry state. A terrifying sword wound appeared on his chest. Blood kept flowing out. He was on the verge of death, as if he would die at any moment. Hiss. This. At this moment, everyone couldn't help but re-evaluate the young man in front of them. His hand was broken. With just a casual attack, he sent the gaming beast, who had the best energy cultivation, flying without any chance to fight back. Dao integration stage? No, impossible. You were just an earth sage before. How could you be so powerful? Xueqi was also dumbfounded. He recalled that he had subdued Lin Fan before. If Lin Fan wanted to kill him now, then he wouldn't have given him any chance. F*CK. What the F*CK is going on? Xueqi was speechless. In Xueqi's mind, Lin Ray had become a fool who pretended to be a pig to eat a tiger. He was so powerful, but he had to pretend to be a coward. Was this what experts like to do? Shameless! Xueqi muttered in his heart. He lowered his head and didn't say anything. He waited quietly at the side, waiting for Lin Ray to punish him. Escape! What a joke! With Lin Fan's cultivation, he didn't even notice him when he appeared. Escape? Where could he escape to? If that was the case, he would die a more painful death if he was caught in the end. Rather than that, he might as well stay here and wait for death to come. It seems like he has already made the decision for you. Looking at the gaming beasts, Lin Ray narrowed his eyes and snorted coldly. If that's the case, then prepare to die. Boom. Under everyone's gaze, a blood-red flame rushed out from his hand. Suddenly, the temperature in the air rose. The scorching aura from Lin Rei swept out in all directions. What's going on? This aura is suffocating my soul. This guy. Impossible. Why is his flame so powerful? What is it? For a moment, everyone began to question. They couldn't figure out why the person in front of them was so strange. Heh. Accept your death. 9 Dragons Division. Boom. The illusory spirit blood flame in Lin Rei's hand instantly split into 9 dragons. The dragon roars continuously came out from the 9 dragons' mouths. We are from the Caming Beast clan. If you dare to attack us, we will use all our strength to hunt you down to the ends of the earth. Are you sure you want to do this? C was dumbfounded. However, thinking about the clan behind him, he quickly calmed down. He believed that even if the other party attacked, they would at most be heavily injured. They wouldn't dare to kill. Of course, this was all just his imagination. Not easy to attack? Of course, if they didn't run into Lin Rei and the system today, they might have to consider the Caming Beast clan's pursuit. But, who told them to run into Lin Rei and the system? As a person who doesn't care about anything, how could he be scared by C's threat? Heh. How sad. Sighing, he shook his hand. Instantly, the 9 dragons shot out like arrows. Plop. A blood-red hole appeared on C's chest. Miraculously, no blood flowed out. Instead, the hole was surrounded by the illusory spirit blood flame. It was like maggots attached to the bone. It couldn't be removed. Aha! A pain that came from his soul and body instantly spread throughout his body. His huge body fell to the ground and curled up. He looked at the flames that were still spreading in his chest. No. See. This scene happened too quickly. The other Caming Beasts who wanted to help knew that it was too late. What awaited them was the same method. Swoosh swoosh. Just as the other 5 beasts were looking at C in pain, the sound of something breaking through the air was heard. Run! Behind them, Big Brother Zhu Tian, who was lying on the ground and couldn't get up, saw the remaining flames. For a moment, he seemed to have forgotten his pain. He raised his head and looked at second brother and the others. Puff! As if his movement was too big, his wound tore open. He spat out a mouthful of blood and lay on the ground again. His aura was even weaker than before. It seemed like he could die at any time. This scene fell into the eyes of Xueqi, who was just a bystander. He felt like he was dreaming. It was too unreal. What about you? Suddenly, a cold voice came from afar and entered Xueqi's ears. With a whoosh, Xueqi's body trembled. He turned his head and looked at Lin Rei. At this moment, Lin Rei appeared not far in front of him. As for the battle in the distance, he didn't care at all. It was as if he wasn't needed. Seeing Lin Rei walking towards him step by step, Xueqi felt like his heart was being hammered. I'll give you a chance. Lin Rei interrupted Xueqi. Submit to me or die. Whether it was Lin Rei or the system, they both liked it. He didn't want to beat around the bush with these nondescript people. Xueqi hesitated. He turned his head and looked at Caming Beast's miserable appearance. His body trembled and he smiled bitterly. Do I have any other choice? Lin Rei. No. Xueqi. As ancient powerhouses, they had their own dignity, especially the Shura clan ruled by Mingi. Seeing that Xueqi still didn't respond, Lin Rei, who was in a conscious state, said, "You don't have to be like this. I want to say that the first 36 Shuras born in the Shura clan are under my command, let alone you." What? The 36 Shuras, which are the first 36 Shuras born in the Shura clan other than Mingi, have already been subdued by me. What are you still hesitating for? No, impossible, they have already died in battle. Impossible. Lin Rei, it's up to you to believe it or not. You're tuning in to the Xueqi's Martial Arts Saga YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.